in. Watch everything we work for fall in line. We gon' give it our all until the end of time. We ain't going nowhere. We'll be standing right here until the end of time. Till the end of time.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Lenovo and Intel presents Convergence 2023 India Close Qualifiers by Riot Games and the Esports Club. Riot Games' first ever international tournament in India. I'm your caster Assassin47, and with me on the desk is Scared. Scared, how are you feeling, buddy? Absolutely, I'm really looking forward to see the upper bracket finals. I'm pretty sure that everyone in the Indian sub-region were looking at, all of these stats and all the brackets as well. They know who exactly is in the upper bracket finals, and it's all out there on the title as well. Reckoning Esports going up against the side of True Rippers. That is gonna be one clash of titan indeed, because I believe, Reckoning Esports and True Rippers are kind of like the new El Clasico for the country, since they have been going up against each other every single tournament. In the grand finals, it's always Reckoning Esports versus True Rippers. So I'm really excited to see what exactly is going to happen in that particular matchup. Let's look at the schedule for today, guys, and have a quick understanding as to what exactly is happening today on the stream. First up, we're going to be seeing the upper bracket finals. That is Reckoning Esports going up against the side of True Rippers. And then at 7 p.m. today, we're going to have Grayfox Esports going up against the loser of this particular Reckoning Esports versus True Rippers matchup. That is going to be your decider finals, by the way. So yes, upper bracket finals and decider finals lined up for everyone watching the stream today. Scared, what do you think about the games?
Exactly. So again, I just want to mention about the fact that basically whenever we've seen both of these teams, Reckoning and True Rippers, up against each other, we've seen them in the similar scenario wherein yes, they are in the upper bracket finals and then they move forward in the grand finals as well. Because one team, if they move to the lower bracket, we've seen them go up against Grayfox Esports. This is a kind of setup we've seen multiple times, and most of the times it's always Grayfox up against probably True Rippers. Even in the previous tournament, we saw the exact same situation wherein Reckoning eventually ended up winning that grand finals as well. But this time around, I think so there will be a possibility of Grayfox to probably bring in a redemption for themselves, because again, once you're looking at this specific scenario, I think so it favors Reckoning, but there have been a few changes here and there, so it is highly possible that we might possibly see some kind of upset.
It's been that narrative from a very long time, right? So in the South Asia region, if you particularly look at all the Indian Valorant tournaments that have happened in the past, in this year itself, right? It has always been the narrative that Reckoning Esports or Orangutan go up against the side of True Rippers, and for the third and the fourth place, it's always either Grayfox Esports or Medal Esports. And unfortunately, I was just looking at the brackets as well, right? I mean, Medal Esports, they lost against Reckoning Esports in the upper bracket semi-finals. That was quite unfortunate. I mean, Paradox and team had a really good momentum. I was watching the match personally, all of these matches I was following, right? And I knew for a fact that Paradox and team had a really good momentum. But unfortunately, against the side of Reckoning Esports, they were just unstoppable. I mean, they just couldn't do anything because Reckoning Esports was unstoppable. And it's kind of interesting because Reckoning Esports, they have a roster shuffle, which we are going to talk about, by the way. I mean, of course, it's out there in the socials, but we have to talk about it, right? They have got Agent King instead of Hoya. Hoya has recently parted ways with Reckoning Esports, and Agent King has replaced Hoya in the team. So, we were all a little bit. Reckoning Esports is sort of gonna adjust around the entire team, right? It takes a little bit of a time because Agent King is kind of filling in the role of an initiator. And it kind of takes time to, sort of set that entire momentum, that synergy has to come. It takes time. But in a really short span of time, Agent King has really, stood up, and he has held up his gameplay as well along with the team. And it was great to see him, wrecking everyone in the upper brackets. I mean, upper bracket semifinals against the side of Metal Esports was like really good for the side of Reckoning Esports.
Because he's got a very big shoe to fulfill, right? He need to step up at this point because yes, as you mentioned, Hoya, he used to be a very solid pillar for Reckoning Esports. Every other time you would see him going in for those amazing kills, amazing clutches as well, sometimes leading up the chart, even though ANQ was popping off in every other match. So I think so at this specific point, there's a lot of burden on the shoulders of Adrian King. And again, we know Hoya used to be a very solid flex player. He used to flex on multiple roles. Maybe put him on a Sentinel or even an Initiator. He would do that. And Adrian King has been playing Initiator as of now. So I want to see how things are going to change. But again, since we're already talking about seeing things, might as well look at the map veto as well.
Alright, let's quickly head on over towards the map veto now because we don't want our viewers to wait on the stream, right? They are so excited to get right into the game. And yes, as you guys can see, the map veto right in front of your screens. Reckoning Esports, well, they're going to be the ones to go ahead and ban out Split. We're going to be seeing True Rippers banning out Bind. We're going to be having Reckoning Esports banning Sunset and True Rippers banning Haven. Interesting. Okay, interesting bans because there's a lot of story behind all of this as well. Even in the upper bracket semifinals for Convergence 2023, Reckoning Esports lost against the side of Metal Esports on the map of Haven. So, True Rippers going out and banning the map of Haven was a little dicey because I'm not really sure what is happening. Because True Rippers, as far as I know, their Haven is pretty damn good. But I guess they just didn't want to take a chance or something like that. I don't know. But that instantly got into the favor of Reckoning Esports because, well, they lost out on the map of Haven against the side of Metal Esports. So it's quite obvious. But the maps that we're going to be seeing today for this best of 3 matchup, guys, it is going to be the map of Lotus, followed by the map of Ascent, and the decider is going to be Breeze. That is if we are going to go there.
This veto just looks so very favorable for the side of Reckoning because again, both of these teams, they have played on all of these maps previously. We've seen them going up against each other, and in every one of these maps, we have seen True Rippers just not moving ahead of that finish line. Every other time it was just Reckoning Esports winning on all of these maps. Last time both of them went up against each other, we saw it was an overtime on the map of Lotus, and it ended up matchup minded because every other fight was basically being taken by these teams, and every time it was just defenders winning it out. So I still feel that the Lotus could go at any one side. It could be a map of True Rippers. It could also go in for Reckoning because again, now since Hoya is not there, there might be small problems in terms of especially those coordinations, maybe just here and there, because I also want to see who is going to play on the Sentinel role as well as who will pick up the Viper on that map, because we know that Hoya used to pick up the Sentinel on this one so that Caramel could easily go and pick up the Viper and then play alongside with it. But this time around, Adrian King, he's been playing Initiator in every other map. So I think so Caramel would probably be forced into play a Sentinel for that one. We'll just have to wait and see again. That always is going to go down to the agent select. But once we move on to that map pool, yes, Ascent is also a map where True Rippers could not beat Reckoning, and Breeze was just a sheer domination by Reckoning Esports.
Yeah, I mean, Reckoning Esports on the map of Breeze is an entirely different team, like, altogether, right? Their map of Breeze is like really, really good. And if it does go to the decider map, that is going to be the map of Breeze. True Rippers, well, they are going to sweat a bullet for sure because, well, as per the history records, True Rippers, they themselves haven't had a lot of great time on the map of Breeze. Even though they were one of the teams that, used to really be good at the map of Breeze, after the update and all the patches that came through for the game of Valorant, right? The Breeze map did not favor True Rippers quite well. I mean, I have been seeing some of the matches, right? And True Rippers, well, they did not have that consistency on the map of Breeze as they used to. So that is something that, I am going to be very excited to see if it does go to the decider matchup. But Reckoning Esports, their form and, their lineup is looking really good. The same can be said for the side of True Rippers, but we do know for the fact that True Rippers are a team that, when it comes to the important moments, do tend to not, sort of deliver. Can that narrative be changed today for the Lenovo and Intel Presents Convergence 2023 India Close Qualifiers? We have to wait to find out. But scared yet, I want to ask you this one question. On the map of Lotus, we've seen both of these teams doing absolutely amazing. Well, I believe True Rippers are a little bit better, but at the same time, Reckoning Esports, with their current lineup, might just clinch out on top. What are your thoughts on the map of Lotus? Like, I want to just, get straight into the map of Lotus and deep dive, sort of like, analyze a little bit before we get into the matchup while the players are getting ready.
Alright, again, just as I mentioned previously as well, we know that Hoya used to be a very solid pillar for Reckoning. So yes, since Adrian King has been the new addition, Hoya has been replaced. Now I feel that their lineup might be just a little shaky, specifically on the map of Lotus, because Hoya, he used to fill up the shoes of those Sentinel role, and Caramel was easily flexed onto the Viper pick. But now, again, since you're going on the map of Lotus, Viper is basically a must-pick agent. You need to pick that agent. It provides you so much value on that one. Those smokes, wall ups and downs, you play some amazing gameplay with that. And if in case you really want to use Viper, maybe it would be someone else who would have to adjust on that. Maybe Excali would probably not pick Astra this time around, maybe go in for a Viper pick, or I mean, they've got to do something, right? Because Adrian King has been on the initiator. If in case he flex onto a Sentinel, then that's an entirely different story. But we have not seen any Sentinel performance from him, at least in Convergence 2023. While on the other side, if we are looking at the lineup of True Rippers, it's exactly the same as the previous one. And last time we saw them, they were superbly dominating, especially in their defense half. Now, here's one thing that I always like about the Pacific region, specifically in the South Asia, basically India region, that if you look at the stats of a specific map and see if it's attack centric or defense centric, or which team is winning in which half, you would always see Lotus heavily attack centric map. You would see all of the teams dominating in the attack half, and teams who are on the defense will be struggling a lot. While if you're looking at the Pacific region, the stats are literally flipped up entirely. It's the team who play on defense are the ones who get maximum number of rounds, and that is exactly what happened between these teams previously as well. So again, I personally think this map might go to True Rippers, but we'll have to wait for the agent select for that to happen. And I am still guessing that maybe someone needs to flex up on the side of Reckoning. Otherwise, they will be in a problematic situation.
Yeah, so about that, right? The topic that you just talked about, I feel like it's like Lotus, even Breeze for that matter. I don't feel it's like a particular sided map. I feel it's a very momentum heavy map, right? Like on the map of Lotus, if you do have that momentum going on for yourself, right? For yourself and your team, it really does wonders for your team. I believe the Pacific region having the defender sided that kind of a defender-sided heavy victories on the map of Lotus might also be because of the fact that some of the teams, if you do notice, right, like most of the teams, in my opinion, in the Pacific region, especially India, most of the teams have a really solid defense lineup. Like they have really good, they have a really good contrast of like that controller initiator roles. So I believe that the Indian region in general does have a lot of advantage when it comes to the defense-sided maps. But yeah, I feel like the side of Reckoning Esports, well, they're looking like they do have a lot of firepower to show us today. and I believe
True.
that they are going to come in guns blazing and knock onto the doorsteps of True Rippers. Well, True Rippers, are they going to be ready for the challenge or not is a question that is going to be answered after we get into the matchup. But I believe, I think in the previous tournament that we did see Reckoning Esports going up against the side of True Rippers. True Rippers did have a little bit of a problem. They did clinch out one map though, so that was good. It was a 1-1 score, but unfortunately they were not able to close it out. And there were a lot of
That is true.
there were a lot of factors for that as well. But yeah, I believe all of those factors have been sorted out, cleared out, because Convergence 2023, well, it is a really big platform. Like I can't even imagine, right? Like I fall out of words when I say the names like Furia, Vitality, FUT Esports. We've got Genji as well.
Genji.
I mean, such big names, right? And to get to play, against them on LAN, especially in India, is a really big thing. So, of course, props
True.
to the side of Riot Games and the Esports Club for making Convergence 2023 possible. And not to forget Lenovo and Intel for making all of this happen as well. Without all of their support, I mean, we would not be sitting here casting these amazing matches, and the players might not be playing
True.
on such a big platform as well. So, yes, Convergence 2023, really big. I mean, it's like it's that thing, right? I mean, Riot Games' first ever international tournament in India. It's like a big deal for everyone, and all of the Indian players that have been waiting to showcase their sort of skill sets, what potential they have, what skills they possess. Everything will come down to this, and this is like that golden opportunity for you. The Indian close qualifiers was something that was like a boon to all the Indian teams. Everyone was like looking forward to it. Like, can we have like a close qualifiers? Can we get into the action? Can we compete at the highest level against the side of Furia, Vitality, FUT Esports, Genji?
True.
And yeah, I mean, really looking forward to see what is going to happen at the LAN event. But for now, guys, it is going to be time for us to dive straight into the agent selection for this matchup. Reckoning Esports going up against the side of True Rippers. Ladies and gentlemen, hope you all are ready, because this is going to be one hell of a best of 3 matchup.
Indeed, that is correct. And I was looking forward to this agent select because on all of these 3 maps, we've seen Hoya picking up the Sentinel. And this time around, Adrian King will probably play the Killjoy because Caramel is going on for his comfort. That's going to be the Viper. ANQ again on that race. We have seen all of them perform really well, especially Excali on the Astra as well. Every other time when you see all of their performances, it just stacks up and they complement each other really well. While Adrian King's addition is also very good in terms of fragging potential, but again, the way he blends in with the team is something that makes Reckoning way too strong. Because every other time, if you're looking at the statistics of the tournament, you see Disrupt being on top with the highest ACS, and then in the top 4 you also have Helif, who is just showcasing some amazing skills, while on the other end, everyone from Reckoning, yes, they are probably in the top 10, top 15 players, but
Select
as
your
a unit,
agent.
they perform exceptionally well. And Haven was the only map where they've been looking shaky. Apart from that, every other map just seems to be their own arena. It's not a mirror composition. It's Astra on the one side, Omen on the other side. Techno loves playing that Omen, but every other agent is going to be exactly the same. So, in terms of those utilities, Astra and Omen might make a major difference.
Yeah, I'm really loving the lineups coming out from both of these teams now, and I can't wait to see what exactly is going to happen in this particular matchup, because the map of Lotus,
True.
well, it's very dicey, right? I mean, it's very dicey. You never really know. It can be either one's game. It will all come down to who exactly has got themselves ready for this matchup, because, well, it's going to be a big one, guys. True Rippers going up against Star Reckoning Esports now. Of course, like, a lot of people are thinking that this is kind of like a revenge matchup for the side of True Rippers, based
True.
on the result of a previous Valorant tournament that just happened recently from the side of the Esports Club. But yeah, I believe that, the side of True Rippers, well, their only goal is to be walking out with a W. I don't think so that they are going to be focusing a lot on the past. It is just going to be the battle of the beasts here on the map of Lotus, followed by Ascent and of course Breeze. But I'm really excited to see the map of Ascent as well, because it is a map that, is sort of like a love for every single Indian team out there. Like Ascent has been played so many times. I have seen Ascent so many times as well. And yeah, I mean, it's going to be pretty interesting to see what new strats these guys are going to pull out of their hats for the map of Ascent. But before we get into the map of Ascent, it is going to be time for us to get into the map of Lotus. Just a few more seconds, guys. Place is just getting ready. We are all set in the server as well. Gonna be jumping soon, but Scadiat, once again, before we start up, do you have any predictions or do you want to say anything before we get into the map of Lotus?
Again, since you're already talking to me about the predictions, I think so.
I mean, why not,
maybe
right? Why not, right?
Yeah. I mean, I still think True
okay.
Rippers might pull this one off. The reason for that being, again, previously it was, this time it's Adrian King. According to the coordination, it is going to depend a lot onto that one because they don't have anything to fall back onto after this one. True Rippers, if they win Lotus, then they possibly have a chance to close things out at the map of Ascent in a 2-0 fashion. If it goes to Breeze, then I am heavily leaning towards the side of Reckoning Esports because they just demolished True Rippers onto that one. And when we were looking at the map veto, there was also one thing that I loved and for the side of Reckoning, but again at the same time I was kind of confused for True Rippers because they had a choice of either banning out the Breeze and letting Haven be the decider, or banning out Haven and let Breeze be the decider. And True Rippers banning out Haven, letting Breeze be the decider is a situation where I think so they just want to send a message to the side of Reckoning, mentioning that yes, you defeated on all 3 of these maps to us, and this time around we have prepared so many strategies, we have prepared something that you are not ready of, and we will be taking the revenge on those exact maps on which we faced a loss against you. So I think so this could be a very good answer from their side. But yes, seeing their past performance, especially in Convergence 2023 India close qualifiers, they have done an excellent job, and it seems that they are working as a well-oiled machine. And again, I still want to bring the attention back to the same thing that yes, apart from the map of Lotus, I think so True Rippers might have it in their bag. But when we'll move on to the map of Ascent, since you already talked about having some crazy compositions, right? There's one I still remember. We normally see the same compositions. That's the KO, Sova, and then the Killjoy, Jet, as well as the Omen. You normally see the same composition, but there's one team that brought out something entirely different, and guess who it could be? It's Paper X. You always know they've got something crazy in their bag, and they brought a Reyna Viper composition. Reyna Viper, and I believe Harbors was also thrown in the mix, and it was working well for them. They were doing really good at that. So maybe we might see some kind of similar gameplay, right? And honestly, whenever we talk about the teams from the Pacific region, South Asia region, they bring out something extraordinary out of the blue. Because I was also watching Game Changers and I saw SMG bringing in 4 duelists. And they mentioned that they thought it was a ping check, so they just picked up 4 duelists, locked in a Cypher, and the fun part was the Cypher player was basically their main duelist. Everyone else was just all the other roles. They were just throwing everything in the mix, yet they came out on top. They won it. So it also means that yes, composition is important, but at the same time, coordination is just a level ahead.
Absolutely right. And since you mentioned that particular matchup, Team SMG, as you mentioned, right, that they thought that it was like a ping check, but well, it worked out for them. They still went forward, and they did not hesitate. They were like, okay, fine, you know what?
Exactly.
Later they realized that okay, this is an actual match, okay, and this is not a ping check, this is not a dry run, this is a matchup, and we have to play it. And they played it, and they played it beautifully actually. Like I could never imagine a four-man duelist lineup working out like that. Like Team SMG just went all out. And let's just hope that both of these teams are not gonna think something like this for the map of Ascent, because I'm not gonna be surprised if these guys pull out something like that. Like 3-4 man duelist lineup, that is gonna be insane. But jokes aside, yes, that was something that happened in Game Changers. Well, I'm pretty sure that we are gonna be having some version of it in Convergence as well. And the only team who I could possibly imagine pulling something this insane is Reckoning Esports. So they are the absolute chads, let me tell you that. Like Reckoning Esports, when it comes to just showing off, they are great on the server. They just give us the most interesting, most funny gameplay out there as well. And of course, not to mention their memes as well, right? Their meme game is really strong on social media.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Super strong.
I know, right? But yeah, guys, a little bit of an update, by the way. There is a small tech pause taken from the side of Reckoning Esports, if I'm not billing. Oh, okay, never mind. I just got a call from the producer that the match is live. Let's head straight into the matchup now, guys. It is time for Reckoning Esports versus True Rippers. Scared yet? Take it away.
You should have said that earlier, man. We might have gone live faster than that, but yes, again, finally, no more breaks coming up whatsoever. It's going to be the first map, and we have True Rippers on the side of defense, Reckoning on the side of attack. So we've seen how teams have been playing very defense-centric. I think so. Maybe the pistol round could change things up, especially looking at Reckoning, as all 5 of them are actually going towards the B, and that can very fast execute. That's going to be the Trailblazer catching Ari in the back. He will be moving backwards. Nanostormer used up as well, so the plant cannot go down right away. But the site has been taken entirely by Reckoning. A very pacey hit coming in, but they also have to worry about this 2-man lurk coming in from behind. This post plant, it looks pretty decent, but still 4 of them are just clubbed up in that entire site and the copy position. I think so it's going to be difficult.
I like this close play coming out from ANQ as well, right? I mean, with the shorty, he's just playing up close and personal, and he's gonna grab himself 2 frags as well. Not bad, Caramel. Well, he's got his eyes set on Helef coming in from the A side as well, and yeah, with Helef going down, it is gonna be the first round going into the favor of Reckoning Esports. Well, a flawless round, so that speaks volume, by the way. A great start to the entire map. So they are going to be having that momentum going forward for themselves, but it's going to be down to how True Rippers are going to stop that momentum from building on further.
That is true. I don't see any kind of force by coming in from their side, and they're also just spreading out the defenders. 2 towards the C side, only a Sky holding B, while a couple of them towards the A. The normal Viper wall as well. There's no major change coming in. ANQ is just going to take that space. He's got a Vandal in his hand though. He needs to be safe. Already brought down to 47 HP. Will be healed back up, and Caramel in the meantime finds a pick onto Deathmaker. Onto directly over the C side. But again, Caramel would have to worry about that. In front of him. He still it out in the last second, bringing his gun up.
Alright, Caramel, once again, watching out for these backstabs. Arya's going to be the one coming in now. But yeah, with a minute left on the clock, Reckoning Esports still have to go plan the spike. Well, they can choose not to as well if they completely eliminate the side of True Rippers. All down to Ari now in a 1 versus 5 situation. Nothing much you can do apart from, you know, take some guns away from the hands of Reckoning Esports. And I think that's exactly what he's going to do as well. He's going to get himself a frag, grab that gun as well. It's going to be nothing but a ghost. And now the hunt begins from the side of Reckoning Esports to go ahead and take down Aryo.
Yeah, that is true. He's going to be baited out of that position. Excali gets the head and gets the round for his team. A very solid bonus coming in as well for Reckoning, because they did not lose any of the weaponry that they invested on, apart from a ghost, which basically is not going to hurt them. But this will surely hurt Helef. He had the perfect opportunity to get that pick. RG just showing the patience game, getting 1 frag in that round, but that's about it. Nothing apart from that being given. So True Dippers, they would still have to worry about this round, right? Because it's a bonus round for Reckoning, and they still have a couple of Bulldogs. They've got a Vandal in the hands of ANQ. So it could be disastrous if they do not give the respect that Reckoning is demanding as of now. So apart from those couple of pretty pacey rounds, this time around they want to play things slow. Long range fight with the Spectre, not recommended. Deathmaker though. Ego checking through that angle. Got down to 92.
Yeah, he's getting information, right? I mean, information is the name of the game for the side of Reckoning Esports. They have to know where exactly True Rippers are, and vice versa, right? I mean, True Rippers also have to know where exactly Reckoning Esports is planning to strike, because for now, their initial lineup for the round was a Viper and a Killjoy towards the seaside, which did change when Deathmaker came in towards the seaside, and now it's back to their default setup, where, you know, Deathmaker is going to be holding on yeah, he's still on the C side. Okay, all right, there you go. So Disrupt is going to be the one to be all over towards the B side. He did throw out that nade to try and stop this execute coming in from the side of Reckoning Esports. But Reckoning Esports, well, sheer force shown towards the B side, and the B side is all theirs. Now it's time for the side of True Rippers to go in for the retake. Let's see if this is going to be panning into the favor of True Rippers or not, since guns are firing left, right, and center. And it all comes down to that final player from the side of Reckoning Esports, and it's going to be Harsh, and he clutches it out in a 1 versus 2 situation. What in God's name was that from Harsh?
Crazy and nasty flick coming in from him. Yes, there was a smoke in front of Helif, but still Harsh was not supposed to get that shot landed right on his head. That was just a great flick, and again, it was the bonus round for Reckoning, so you know their economy is going to steamroll at this. The one which Reckoning wanted to go on with. So again, now True Rippers would have to figure out a way to understand what Reckoning is doing, right? Because they're throwing these slow rounds in their mix, so might as well just try and play aggressive. They drop down to eco and they are taking space towards the rubble. Will not let Reckoning get that space for free whatsoever. Excali was brought down to at least half of his HP, will be healed back up as well by Sky. So not any major damage being done, but B entirely left open. If in case Reckoning wants, they can try and make a play there, but Harsh in the meantime will be able to get an opener on towards the C side. So this should be the cue for Reckoning to probably go on forward with the execute, as they're going to dump the utility. Is Deathmaker! That is just an outworldly shot coming in from him. Will throw out the nanoswarm as well, use it, but both of the players have already made the cross, and he gets the third with the Sheriff! Down to just 12 HP. That is a miraculous stand coming in from this guy. Can he get the ball? He will! He's just popping off the shots one after the other. Take no to do the job. No ace for him, but what a thrifty round coming in from this guy.
Deathmaker, Deathmaker, Deathmaker. That's the name that everyone's going to remember towards the seaside, because that man just annihilated the entirety of Reckoning Esports trying to move it over towards the seaside. With nothing but a Sheriff, he got himself a 4K. And that in itself is such a massive message sent out to the side of Reckoning Esports that you better watch out when you're trying to execute over towards the seaside, because Deathmaker is going to be waiting for you to show up.
If that doesn't change the momentum of this game, I don't know what will. 4K with a Sheriff solo holding the side. You peek him one after the other, you'll fall one after the other. Now he will be holding on towards the A, will get the pick onto Caramel, but not any major information given though, because Caramel normally is like a lurk role, but this time around, Reckoning won't take that space. They will push Deathmaker back, and now are also taking control of the connector, will be getting the pick onto RU. So the hit should probably go towards the B, but this pinch could be everything if in case Deathmaker makes a move. Reckoning would be just in a very horrible spot, and that's exactly what they're getting. Harsh gets one, Disrupt will be able to take down Adrian King as well. That's already the Harsh last man standing. Disrupt shuts him down and gets the second round on board. Reckoning are now losing the footing.
I absolutely love the way Disrupt was just toying with his enemy, right? I mean, he was just playing with his food. The way he was just throwing the satchels, trying to sort of get the players from the side of Reckoning Esports to sort of get out of their entire momentum types. That was like really good coming out from the side of Disrupt. I absolutely loved it. It was toying with his food.
I really like this knife skill. That actually is pretty good. But yes, since you've already mentioned, he was literally toying with his food this time around. They want to change the pace, maybe proactively taking control of the entirety of the mound as well as the B main. The fight will be taken in. It's a good pick coming in from Adrian King, but still, space not being taken. Disrupt is the one holding onto that angle. It was a 1-for-1 trade though, so Reckoning will take it any day, especially since they're already down to their eco. What are the chances that we might possibly see another thrifty? We'll just have to wait and see as they actually invest the lockdown. This was probably unheard of, but the question is when will they try and go in for the execute as they invest the Seekers as well. Disrupt still holds his ground as the Cosmic Divide was going up. He was able to get one pick through that situation. Was detained, will be taken on with the Showstopper. That's such a heavy investment onto a thrifty round, but Reckoning will get the spike down. But do they have the weaponry upgraded? That's the question. Yes, they picked up the rifle as well, and it seems like the site has been entirely switched as True Rippers going in for the retake right up from front. Deathmaker taking a lot of space. So now the information has already been given. They already know where are the remaining 3 players from the side of Reckoning. This seems to be trouble. This seems to be a problem. Tap onto the spike towards the defuse. We'll probably see the grab well used up as well. Deathmaker still seeing if there's any kind of lurk play coming in or not. That's going to be the pop flash coming in. Flash was not connected and the chase will go in favor of Reckoning as they win another thrifty. So many investments in that round and I did not anticipate we're going to see that kind of result.
Yeah, so that is the kind of trick I was talking about, right? Reckoning Esports, the best part about that, the best part about that particular round was the fact that despite having a man disadvantage, right, they used their utils to perfection, gained so much map control, further pushed in over towards the C connectors, and they were just unstoppable. Like, no matter what Troopers would do, Reckoning Esports will still end up getting that round since they invested so much of their utility, right? They got themselves that round. They got themselves the site. They got themselves the guns, and all they had to do was just patiently wait for the side of Troopers to show up and try and go in for that retake attempt. And just to see them fail was absolutely, like, it was disheartening because everything was screaming Troopers in that round, but Reckoning Esports, that rabbit out of the hat trick that I was talking about, that was something that I was talking about. I mean, Reckoning Esports, they keep doing this again and again and again. We're going to see a lot of these. So, yeah. But for now, guys, while we are back into the caster cam, just a little bit of an update. There's a little bit of a tech pause being taken from one of the teams. So, we're just going to walk you through some of the rounds that have already gone through by now. And then once the tech pause is over, we're going to get back into the game as well. But scared yet for till now, though, right? I believe that the side of Reckoning Esports, well, they've had a good couple of rounds, but Troopers are looking really, really strong too, especially Disrupt. And yes, we are going to be jumping back into the game. I'm going to continue this conversation as well. I mean, Disrupt is looking really, really good. We have seen him in, on the duelist role before as well. But today, it just looks like that he's hungry for that victory.
Exactly, and we've seen him going in for some aggressive plays towards Mount time after time, and he's taking that space every other time. Even though Reckoning, they were the ones who won a few duels towards that side, we still are seeing Troopers fighting for that space, and I think so that has been working out really well for them. Even though they are a couple of rounds behind them, but you already see they're just shutting down the options for Reckoning to move around. They invested 3 people towards C. They've taken a lot of space. They've got no one towards the B apart from Viper playing so far behind, and other than that, it's just Deathmaker anchoring the A side alone, and he is ready with the lockdown as well. So the hit is going in, and the lockdown is preemptively invested. That means Reckoning cannot jump in towards the site right away. They would have to respect it. They've got no utilities to break the lockdown. They would have to respect it, and the cavalry is already here. So I think so in the terms of macro gaming, Troopers have already had a very major win in half of this round, as the showstopper will now be invested as well. He's trying to find a target for Harvest. Will be moving around, ring around the rosy. Will be getting 2 of them and puts his team in a major number advantage.
Caramel for now, though, well, I think that he's going to be on a little bit of an exploration mission as to find where exactly the players from the side of Troopers are. On the other hand, we're going to be seeing Harsh easily stopping the way for RU to get into the site. And yeah, Troopers, well, they're just going to take the players from the side of Reckoning Esports down one by one to grab the third on the board for themselves. Beautiful retake coming out from them. Reckoning Esports, not really sure, like, why the entire push came in from them as well. Like, a couple of players a little bit too aggressive, but I believe that was also done to gain that map control and to stop the push coming out from the side of Troopers as well, right? To kind of, stop that entire retake attempt coming in from the side of Troopers as well. So yeah, it can't really be blamed, but Troopers, beautiful retake, not going to take anything away from them. As we move in over towards round number 8, now, I believe Reckoning Esports, they do have the money, they do have the economy to go in for the big guns. They're going to do just that. But I believe this is going to be a much slower round coming out from the side of Reckoning Esports. As Troopers, well, they have been, successful in the past couple of rounds in terms of their retake attempts. So I believe Reckoning Esports, well, they're going to take their sweet time. They're going to try and bamboozle the side of True Rippers and then move aggressively in towards the particular side for the execute.
True. They're already taking a lot of space towards Mount, but still not committing for the hit. Because again, if you see the door has been opened up, it is a pinch situation coming in. Reckoning would have to move backwards, and they will not be allowed to do so. As LF would be taking the heads of a couple of those players. Harsh, in the meantime, wins the Sky Duel. But the damage has already been done. Deathmaker is just easily anchoring towards the A. He's got an idea that there would probably be one person there, and has got the entire KG utils hit up. Seekers haven't invested, so that's going to give a bit of the information, but Small is just going to delay the push, and in the meantime, Deathmaker applying salt onto the wounds, fighting through the smoke, getting Harsh out of the picture. Even Viper's pet has been invested. 2v4 situation. They've only got from the shadows, so True Rippers can try and invest that. And they can try and figure out where this Viper would be playing inside the pit. That could be a very major information gaining ability at this point. True Rippers, they've still got those utilities. They can try and fight for this space. How long will this pit hold is going to be the question, Assassin.
One enemy remaining.
Well, this round is screaming all True Rippers right now because in the 2 versus 4 situation, especially in that Viper spit, right? It is gonna be very, very difficult for the two of the players from the side of Reckoning Esports to try and make something happen. True Rippers, well, they were 4-man up and they had no issues whatsoever going in for the retake. Now there's a little bit of a timeout coming up from the side of Reckoning Esports, which is good. Since True Rippers have got their momentum back and scores are neutralized on the scoreboard as well. The tactical timeout is a really, really good call coming out from the side of Reckoning Esports because, well, they need to figure out what's going wrong, how they're losing men so quickly, and at the same time, why they're not able to hold on to post-plan situations.
Because again, it just seems to be the case that they've been showing quite a lot of aggression towards the C mount. They've been fighting for that space multiple times, and True Rippers in the round prior to this one, they fought for that space as well. And this time around, they were just prepared that Reckoning would probably go in for a very aggressive early push. So they had that pinch ready, wherein they already took the B main space and they were ready to open the door only to pop up from both of the sides and create a crossfire. And that worked out so well for them. They got those early 2 picks. Yes, they lost 1 player, but that was about it. They had the numbers advantage, and then again, Deathmaker always, he always applies those salt, those wounds whenever he spams through the smoke, and he is feeling it today. I still remember one day I was on desk with Darshita, and she mentioned that if Deathmaker pops off, then he pops off like no one else. He just plays so brilliantly. And this is what she actually meant. Deathmaker just showing his class. Why is his name paired across the board?
Once again, there's going to be that quick attempt coming out from the side of Reckoning Esports to try and gain a side control, which they have. B is the fortress that they have chosen, and it's time for True Rippers to head in for the retake. Now, we're going to be seeing RU and Disrupt trying to move in, and I believe there is a really bad weapon waiting for them on the other side, which probably is a shotgun. But Halef is going to be, giving them all the utils needed to go in for this retake as well. But
oh my god.
Halef, how are you going to escape this shotgun, buddy? As it is going to be the side of Caramel to jump in with that double barrel. It's going to be all down to Harsh now. 1 versus 2 situation. Techno is sitting on the defuse, and RU is going to get that final frag to lock in the 5th round of the board for the side of True Rippers. Reckoning Esports. Once again, a quick attempt, a quick execute, but failing to hold on to the post-plan situations. That is something that Reckoning Esports have to figure out. They have to figure out what exactly they're doing wrong. I believe the Reckoning Esports is not gaining enough map control for them to, sort of play out these retake situations as well, right?
Yes, they need to figure out from all the different spots that True Rippers can flood in towards the site and try and go in for the retake. So they need to block off at least 1 or 2 of them so that they need to worry about just 1 or 2 spaces. And that's where Reckoning are facing a defeat time and time again. Caramel, oh my goodness, that jump peak could have been his last jump peak for the round. Still survives, moves backward, conceding the space towards double as 3 members of True Rippers have been invested towards that side. And because of the pinch in a couple of rounds prior to that one, you can clearly see that even now Reckoning are not taking the space towards Mount that quickly, that proactively. They're still playing so very reactively in that situation. So taking a small step at a time and then slowly moving around. They're trading the map space, they've given up the rubble control, but they've taken the Mount space. While at the same time, we're also seeing Adrian King destroying the KG utilities towards the B. So that's going to drag a person towards that site already, and that might give an opportunity for Reckoning to go in for a play. That flash should give the information. No, Disrupt dodges the entire flash and throws in the nade as well. This is just going to push back Reckoning entirely, but they've got the information that there are still a few people being invested towards the A. They can try and take some space towards C. Disrupt, my goodness, is just making such an aggressive play. That's going to be the Cosmic Divide used up. Seaside is where the hit is going to land. All the utils being used up, but Hell is there to welcome them. Excali quickly going for the trade as well. Deathmaker still standing strong, will be taken down through the ball bag. He can get the timing. He can get a pick on Caramel. No, he will not, as Caramel finds a better timing in that situation. Techno, how much can this one man do? Dodges the flash. Do Reckoning have an idea that is on the side? He takes one down, but drop down to such a low HP. Disrupt needs to be the anchor. He needs to make a play at this point. Throws in the satchel as well. Nanoswarm being used up. Harsh was jumping, and he still will get a pick, and they will be traded one after the other as Excali finds the last one in the round. And we are equalized yet again, 5-5. Last time Reckoning played, they got 4 rounds. This time, they've already got 5 on the attack.
True Rippers had a lot going into that round, by the way. They had aggressive control of the A mains. They knew for a fact that the entirety of Reckoning Esports is going to either hit B or C. So I thought that True Rippers are going to make their rotations in a way where, you know, there is that majority of players holding on over towards the B and the C side, which they were, by the way. There were 2 players over towards the C side, but suddenly it just all came down to the Killjoy. And that is something that I could not understand why True Rippers went in with that particular rotation as well. But all in all, again, a aggressive push coming out from the side of True Rippers, which yields them 2 kills, but at the same time is instantly traded out. Reckoning Esports and True Rippers now in a 3 vs 3 situation. Pit Viper over towards the B side, which leaves Reckoning Esports the only option to go C. Since, again, True Rippers have taken aggressive control over towards A, it's time for the side of Reckoning Esports to knock out of the doors of the C side, get the kill on towards Disrupt, and attain control of the C side.
Indeed, that is true, because C has been looking pretty solid for them. Even the post plans have been working out very well. That's going to be Caramel winning the trade against Deathmaker. He was welcomed with a surprise. RU, in the meantime, he's probably given his footsteps already. Yeah, he is noted down. He will not be able to do anything in this situation. No, he gets one actually, but only to be traded by Adrian King right off the bat. So that's 6 rounds for Reckoning.
Last round before the switch.
That's how they're showing that Lotus is basically an attack-centric map, wherein, yes, when you're on the attacking side, you'll probably get a few of those extra rounds. But what you mentioned, Assassin, about the momentum and how important it is, we are clearly seeing the effect of that. Because even now, Reckoning, yes, they fumbled in a few rounds in between, especially the one where Deathmaker just popped off like anything. But after that, they kept their calm, composure, and they were able to get few of those rounds back. No operator being brought in for the side of True Rippers though, so I am pretty surprised even of that situation. They've not had any economical stability in the meantime, so could not invest onto that one. A lot of pressure towards Deathmaker on towards the A side already, as this is going to be a very quick and very pacey hit, but at the same time, True Rippers, their cavalry has also arrived, and this could basically be a bloodbath in this situation. Deathmaker finds the opener onto Harsh and also invests the lockdown. That nade, it should be good. No, it's not enough to take down the lockdown. He still managed to get Deathmaker off the picture, and again, off-camera kill. Excali takes Techno down. So numbers in favor of Reckoning. Lockdown used up. They could not take any kind of space. So now Caramel would have to lurk up. He would have to make a play. He needs to be the anchor in this specific round. Otherwise, this is probably done for Reckoning. They cannot take control of the side. Still, they've got the numbers advantage. Yes, that one thing is true. But on the other side, if in case they jump in a crossfire, they'll be just welcome with some amazing shots. Hell, if long range classic, I don't think so. He would want to take that fight. Yes, fires just a couple of shots, gives the information to his team that it is going to probably be a C hit. Cosmic Divide used up yet again. So much space being taken by Reckoning, and they will get the spike down. The question is, can Helif make it in time? Judge, not the best weaponry to go in for a retake. But the snake bites from Caramel will come in to stop anyone from pushing and going in for an early retake. They've also invested the lockdown in this round. My goodness, they're just throwing everything. And why not? This is the last round of the half.
Well, if you take into consideration the seaside, right, the shotgun might just come handy with all of these close spaces. But how the hell are they going to stop Excali with this lurk? ANQ is also going to be using up his showstopper, and it all comes out to disrupt in a 1 versus 4 situation, and there's no freaking way that the side of True Rippers are going to be able to do anything, especially disrupt, because the 4 big guns from the side of Reckoning Esports are patiently waiting for him to show up. And that is going to be the 7th on the board for the side of Reckoning. 7-5, a fruitful half for the side of Reckoning Esports. I would not say that True Rippers had a bad half. Okay, they had a decent half. I wouldn't say great half. They had a decent half. There were a lot of avenues where they could have closed out rounds. But it's okay. 7-5 is a really good half. As we move on towards the second half now, I believe the side of Reckoning Esports on the defense, pretty sure they have something cooking. The side of True Rippers, let's just hope that they're aware of all of these aggressive plays that Reckoning Esports are going to make, starting with placing the Astra Smoke, and I believe the Raze just aggressing towards the A-mains as well with the Ghost.
Yes, indeed, that is true. We normally see him being so very aggressive. ANQ this time around will also throw in the nade. Oh my goodness, what a perfect shot coming in from him, and he's also got the backup support coming in. So you know that Rubble is not where you can win the fight. True Rippers looking elsewhere on the map have taken space in B main as well as now are working towards the C. Nanoswarm will be used up along with the Viper Poison Orb. So no way they can try and move ahead from that one. They can try and go in for a B hit maybe if they want to, but again, if you really want to go in for a B hit, you probably need to have the control of the rubble so that you can go in for a B split and try and get into the side from 2 different points, and that's basically just not happening. Rubble normally stays a very important part of the map wherein you need to take the control of if you want to threaten any kind of quick rotates towards any of those other sides, but as of now, it just does not seem to be the case. True Rippers, they're finally working up slowly. Heller finally making contact. Excali as well,
30 seconds
conceding
left.
that space, putting up the smoke in front of him. And this seems to be a B hit coming in. Oh my goodness, this could be a perfect pitch coming in from ANQ, but he still wins it even though he was blinded. Throws in the nade as well. This seems to be a very horrible play coming in from True Rippers, and they will be punished for it. ANQ still stands strong, but it's down to a 2v2 situation. Can he try and make another play? Caramelist should have a perfect timing. This maker, his senses are tingling. He goes in. The spray down is good. Last 1v1. Let's make a can you do it again? Adan says yes as he gets ANQ out of the picture and move in towards the 6th, one step closer for that equalizer.
You cannot win a 1v1 against me, says Deathmaker, as he is going to close out the final 2 players from the side of Reckoning Esports. And yes, as you did mention, right, that hit towards the B side coming out from the side of True Rippers was a bit dicey. It was a very slow execute. Very calm, composed play coming out from the side of True Rippers, but I believe that it just all resulted into Reckoning Esports taking more and more map control and gaining a lot of information as well, because they had aggressed, they had information that, okay, you know, the only possible course of action for the side of True Rippers is going to be over towards the B side, and that's exactly what happened as well. But yeah, thanks to the fantastic, you know, gun game coming out from the side of True Rippers as well. AIM is the name of the game, of course, and Deathmaker, when it comes to AIM, we all know how good he is. But yeah, from the side of Reckoning Esports now, they've already lost our 2 players. It's an eco round for them. It's a fullback coming out from the side of True Rippers. This round is easily going into the favor of True Rippers, unless Reckoning Esports pull out something miraculous. But once again, if you do notice, right, most of the teams, they do tend to go in aggressive over towards a particular side, but True Rippers have a lot of discipline.
Here.
They're not going to do any of that. They're just going to take their sweet time. They're going to get all the information they need. And since they've already spotted out two of the players over towards the A side, they know for a fact that C is all up for taking, and they're going to do exactly that.
Caramel is playing aggressively inside the smoke though. Can try and go in for an
Spike planted.
time as well. He's got a couple of people in front of him. No way he was allowed to do anything in that situation. Another good play coming in. Deathmaker though. Thanks one.
Player
Right click of the
standing.
classic. He's got the support coming in as well. And that's probably about the wrap up. ANQ can try and find a couple of exit frags maybe. Or, I mean, if he dies to the spike without being spotted, I would still say he was lucky in that situation. Maybe not give that one extra orb to True Rippers. Because the round is almost over now. And they're carrying all the weaponry into the next one as well. So this could be a very solid bonus coming in from the side of True Rippers. Basically, what we saw from Reckoning is exactly what True Rippers are doing. Yeah, ANQ is just going to die to the spike, not giving them any extra orb. 7-7, rounds are equalized. Some progress being made towards the Seekers, just 3 of them away for LF. So maybe they can try and feed a couple of orbs if in case they want to go in for the contest, because look at the pings on the map. They are already pinging where ANQ would want to aggress. So they already know about this kind of play. And seeing at this point how Harsh and ANQ are also playing towards that part, and now they're also joined in by Caramel, you know that they're going to fight towards Rubble. This could be everything. Everything just let loose, and that's going to be the spray down coming in. ANQ and Caramel. They still win out on every single one of those trades, and even though Harsh was blinded up, he still gets that pick. They started with less players. It was a 4v3 at the best. And coming out unscathed in that situation, that is just brilliant defensive play from Reckoning. Deathmaker goes on for 1 at best. That's about it. And what a way to shut down the entire push.
This is the exact aggression that I was talking about as well, right? And a 3-man setup over towards the A side coming out from side of Reckoning Esports. I love the fact that this Sky Raze combo is aggressing so much and gaining so much information. It's like the way it's meant to be played, right? Reckoning Esports, they are doing everything right. True Rippers, I thought that they are going to anticipate the aggression coming out from the side of Reckoning Esports, but nah, that's not going to happen. Yeah, once again, you're going to see the exact same thing. You see a nade coming in, you're going to have a flash from Sky, and it's going to be ANQ to further gain a lot of control over towards the A mains. While on the other side of the map, you're going to be seeing True Rippers trying to head in over towards C, trying to open an avenue, especially LF. He's trying to get something done, whereas Deathmaker does get that frag on towards Caramel. Interesting. The Astra smoke spotted out. The Astra stars, as I would say. But yeah, Hellfighter, not really sure what the end game is for the side of True Rippers, because well, they've explored their options towards A and C, and I still believe that they're gonna keep pushing in towards A, since they've already got a frag at the A side, so they know for a fact that it's just ANQ left out. Or even if there is a rotation, at best 2 people are there over towards the A side. With 35 seconds left onto the clock now, the side of True Rippers have to make a decision whether to go A or whether to go B or C.
30
And A
seconds
is
left.
going to be the right answer. True Rippers are going to further push in. They're going to push out ANQ from the A side. They're not going to let him get any of these fantastic frags that he's been getting. And with that, they're going to move into the side, gain control, plant the spike as well. That's going to be time for Reckoning Esports to go in for the retake as well. Harsh is already towards the back of the side, and he might just walk away with the frag here, because ANQ just joined the party and disrupt. If he's going to go in for a white peak, best case scenario, he gets 1 or maybe 2. Okay, finds 1, not bad. And try and look for more. Going to go ahead and throw in his satchel. Not going to be able to connect that shot on towards ANQ, as ANQ comes out on top in that 1 versus 1 situation. Deathmaker, is he going to be able to find anything, though, is the million-dollar question here. It's a 2 versus 3 situation for the side of True Rippers, and I believe with RU and Deathmaker playing in this position, the spike is also planted for them, if I'm not wrong, but with that man advantage coming out from the side of Reckoning Esports, right, it's going to be a bit difficult for RU and Deathmaker to go in for this hold in the post-blast situation. Because you know for a fact that Reckoning Esports, they're a very synergetic team. And in that particular retake attempt, Synergy was the name of the game. They played it beautifully. I saw some amazing double peak combos coming out from Star Reckoning Esports, and that is exactly what led them to get the 9th round of the board for themselves.
Absolutely correct. Getting a couple of picks towards the drop and then moving forward, slowly creeping ahead. Disrupt. He was only able to get one in that situation. Apart from that, nothing. So this time around, True Rippers
Alarm bot out.
slowly moving towards the B. They want to take that space. They haven't really explored B main aggressively. This time, they really want to show a lot of attention. This crossfire, the way that Reckoning are creating that kind of crossfire, it could be everything because Caramel, yes, is in position where he will be stand up, but again, he's got support coming in, and that's going to be just a wraparound. Reckoning will be the ones who will come out on top, and it's a 1v3 situation now. Spike retrievable, but no other part of the map could possibly be explored by RU. Maybe best case scenario, he gets a rifle in this case and maybe try and get those isolated 1v1s. 6 bullets. He could not get that. It's 4 in the magazine. Can he find something? That's the question. Will ANQ give him the 1v1? Does not have the spike in hand yet. So still wants to go on for exploring. That's about it. ANQ. Not giving him 1v1 flash, giving the information as well. Only has 25 more seconds to work with. Finally hit the reload as well on the Vandal. Now the question is, he's still going to commit towards the B? That's the question. Oh my goodness, ANQ! He's just disrespecting, pushing through the wall, and he also got the pick. That is just insane. That should not have happened whatsoever in any kind of universe. But it happened in this one. ANQ shutting everything down as well. And probably with that one, some of those hopes for True Rippers as well.
Yeah, pretty decent round coming out from the side of Reckoning Esports. Well, of course, like when you're in a 3 versus 1 situation, you do expect players to, sort of go in for the hunt, and that's exactly what ANQ did as well. But this time around, though, things are gonna take a quick shift in pace for the side of True Rippers, at least. Because we're going to see an aggression coming out from their side now. Instead of Reckoning Esports pushing up and gaining control towards A-mains. It's going to be the Viper in the sky from Reckoning Esports holding on over towards A, whereas we do see Barahayman, that is Adrian King if I'm not wrong, holding towards the caves.
He almost moved
He
out
almost
of that
waiting for
door
that bite
and-
fake.
Yeah. It could have been a detrimental pick in this round though, but yeah, that's Trailblazer. She's probably spotted Disrupt. Yes, the ping is coming in on the map, so they know where Disrupt is. But that's the only player they know about. No one else. And if you're looking at the other part of the map, now Trailblazer is also being used on the other side to clear some space. Showstopper being used up, but only for Disrupt to probably put himself down on 54. That's not exactly what he thought would happen when he pulled up that showstopper, but nonetheless, door being opened up, they are making some noise towards the B, and that's where they want to end up at. As the smokes go in, Disrupt will get a pick onto the Killjoy, so no way any of those utilities will be used up whatsoever. Even the attacking lockdown used up. So Reckoning, they don't have any tool to break this. They would have to respect the space, would have to concede it. The plant's already gone down. My goodness, Excali hitting the reload at the exact time and disrupting. No one detained. Smoke's gonna go up as well, even though Lotus is being invested. ANQ will try and make a play, and he does! He actually gets one in that situation. Deathmaker still holding on towards the side. They know where Karim is coming in from, and the fight will be taken in. Excali comes in at the perfect time for the trade, and he will get the defuse. It's got more than sufficient time at this point. And Reckoning will be moving up to 11. True Rippers in the attempt to equalize the odds, they're just dipping further and further.
11-7 now, a point away from match point. Reckoning Esports looking really solid on their defense side, as you did predict it, sort of, I would say. Scared yet, because you did mention that, some of the teams in the region have been really good on their defense side, and Reckoning Esports is clearly one of them, right? As soon as they made their way over towards the defense side, they haven't stopped yet, and True Rippers, well, they've got no reply for the same. Yeah, Reckoning Esports is gonna keep doing what they're doing best. It's like that saying, right? Why fix if it ain't broken?
Exactly. They've only lost the pistol and the anti-eco after that. And apart from that, every other round has been won by Reckoning. So let's make us slowly creeping forward. Everyone was trying to clear some of those KJ utilities. Nanoswarm was also used up as well. So Flash is going to go out and Star's going to turn into a smoke.
Right there.
They would definitely not want to push in through this situation. I love the play coming in from Reckoning this time around because they're playing slow, but still, if you're looking at the position of ANQ, he's way far ahead and there's just absolutely no support for him whatsoever. Yes, Caramel is there in towards that connector, but that's about it. So if in case True Rippers decide to score and stack up and fight for that space, ANQ, there's absolutely no way he would be bailed out. He still has the showstopper though, so can try and make a hero play if he wants to, but True Rippers just don't seem to be
30 seconds
interested
left.
in Rubble at all. They're still focusing on towards the B as space is being taken by Disrupt, but he'll be shut down right away by Caramel. Holding that angle perfectly, and Excali as well comes out on top. And his straight on towards the C. No, will be opened up. It's down to just 3 members. Caramel will be holding his side. And in this position, maybe they save the rifle, but even that would be not allowed as Reckoning will move to the match point.
Match
True
point.
Rippers were just in tatters at the entire round. It seemed that they had no idea where they want to progress, where they want to go. Utils were not being used of Disrupt. Yes, he went in on towards the side, but you always need at least a smoke to drop off at that position, or maybe just a flash coming in. None of that happened. Caramel just got a dry pick in that situation. True Rippers are just losing their footing at this point.
Anything and everything True Rippers are trying to do, Reckoning Esports is instantly shutting them down, and that is the kind of control they have on the defense side on Lotus. I believe that they should pretty much end this round as well, since Excali has a lot of utils to the C side. And yeah, there's absolutely no stopping Excali at this point, right? He's already got himself 2 kills, which was really traded as well from True Rippers. Since it's the 3 versus 3 situation, I would give a little bit of a lineage to the side of True Rippers. Now
Spike planted.
it's time for Reckoning Esports to go in for the retake once again, right? And look at this harsh!
My God.
Oh my God! It's like you know, Hellfighter was handed over to Harsh on a platter. And it's all down to Deathmaker now.
Alright.
A 1 versus 2 situation now. 3 HP. He knows where exactly the spike is planted. Caramel is on the defuse. And look at this. Reckoning Esports, your winners for map number 1.
No clutch this time around for Deathmaker whatsoever. Even the pit was invested. Every resource just being thrown in. Showstopper for the retake. Everything working out perfectly for the side of Reckoning Esports. Again, we mentioned, yes, the defense is always almost solid. And True Rippers were also pretty good on their defense. Yes, they were able to get 5 of those rounds. But when it came down to the attacking half, they could not cook anything up. It just seemed like everything they were trying to do was being countered perfectly by Reckoning because they had a very good read onto them, and I'm kind of getting the deja vu of what happened previously. I really hope it's not exactly that, because again, I want to see this series go for all the 3 maps, because True Rippers, yes, we know how capable they are and how solid they have been through, and we saw them. Yes, there were a few fumbles here and there, but they still managed to get 5 rounds on their defense. They were able to get a decent amount of read onto those rounds, especially what Reckoning were trying to do. Because a few of them, they just went down to those last 1v1s, right? And if in case they would have ended up in the favor of True Rippers, we might have seen the scoreline to be a little more different. Maybe even a 7-5 in favor of True Rippers. But on the other end, when Reckoning came on defense, it just seemed like their read was always perfect. We saw them going in for a 2-1-2 split as well. 1-3 split as well, and they tried every other thing. And one thing that they always focused on was the fact that they needed the control of Rubble, and they always had one person playing in the B connector just to make sure that they've got at least 2 spots to flood in if in case the spike is planted, which they rarely let True Rippers do. So a very well defense half coming in from the side of Reckoning.
Yes, Reckoning Esports on the defense was just unstoppable. True Rippers, no matter what they do, they're not able to clinch out rounds against Reckoning Esports. And it's also because of the fact that Reckoning Esports were taking so much map control, right? And
True.
I know I've been, sounding like a broken record, but that is exactly what happened in this match. Reckoning Esports' map control on the defense side was so goddamn good that True Rippers were not able to do anything. Anything and everything True Rippers were trying to do, Reckoning Esports were instantly shutting them down because Reckoning Esports had that information. And it was all thanks to the map control and the aggression they were showing on their defense side as well. True Rippers, well, they could not just adapt to the entire momentum shift. When I'm talking about momentum shift, I'm talking about the aggression that is coming out from the side of Reckoning Esports, right? And this was a very back and forth matter as well for them. There will be consecutive rounds that they are going to show this aggression, and then they're going to tone it down a little bit and try and look at avenues to the other side of the map. And that is something that sort of, I would say, tipped off True Rippers. Well, they could not adapt and evolve as to how exactly the entire play was coming in from the side of Reckoning Esports. So, yes, all in all, a great map coming out from the side of True Rippers. All in all, a great map coming out from the side of Reckoning Esports, my bad. But yeah, scoreboard is ready. Let's quickly have a look at the stats, and we'll talk numbers for a little bit. Scared yet? I know for a fact that, when it comes to numbers, you love them. And yes, you can go ahead and take it away.
Indeed, that is true, because I wanted to mention how Adrian King, yes, he would probably need to play on an agent wherein he would not be that comfortable. 9 and 14, yes, not the best performance for him, but ANQ just popping off like anything, followed by Harsh. He was 19 and 12, just outwardly performance coming in from him as well. Scally also moving in the exact same shoes. Caramel, he was there whenever he was needed, especially for those important fights when he was got an ACS of over 200, you've done your job, you've done more than sufficient work. While on the other side, if you're looking at Deathmaker, 17, 13 and 2, he was popping off like anything. But apart from him, it was just RU who was able to get a few of those frags and no one else. And it all came down to the same attacking half, right? Because I still want to focus on the round number 19, if I'm not wrong, wherein it just seemed that True Rippers probably wanted to just move around the map to try and play for a pick and then decide where they want to go. And it was not given to them by Reckoning at all. They were just playing so far back in the side of B and C. We saw, yes, there was Sky as well as Deathmaker towards C side. They were trying to play in for a pick, or at least try and get some attention of Reckoning towards that part, while at the same time we again saw Disrupt moving forward towards the B, going in with that satchel. He wanted to take some space. There were no flashes for him, there was absolutely no smoke thrown out for him. So that, again, those kind of small mistakes are something that cause you to lose a lot of members in the rounds. But again, the one who made the opponent lose a lot of members is definitely going to be the MVP, and I think so it is going to be none other than ANQ in this one. 20, 11 and 2 with an ACS of 269. A great game coming in from him.
Well, ANQ, as always, the star coming out from the side of Reckoning Esports. Every single time, ANQ gets on that duelist role. I mean, of course, most of the time he is on the duelist role, but when it comes to, getting into the zone, which everyone know what I'm talking about. We did see in the previous tournament as well, ANQ popping off like a 30 bomber, if I'm not wrong. But yeah, this time he dropped a 20 bomb, and yes, every single time ANQ steps up massively for the side of Reckoning Esports. And well, with ANQ and Adrian King in the roster, along with such immense players like Excali and Harsh in the team as well. I mean, Harsh is basically like the brains of the team as well. So Reckoning Esports, well, they did not have any issues whatsoever when it came down to closing things on the second half. But with that, it's time for us to get into the map of Ascent as well. Before that, we indeed are going to be taking a short little break. But Scariot, before we head in over towards the map of Ascent, I want to ask you this. Do you think that, this match is going to end in the second map, or are we going to be expecting Breeze?
if in case True Rippers make the same kind of mistake in their attacking half, we might possibly see it a 2-0 in favor of Reckoning. And I honestly don't want that to happen. I want to see the Breeze map as well. I really like that map. That's one thing. But at the same time, I really love the way both of these streams, they pull out their own strategies. Plus, specifically talking about the side of True Rippers, they did not ban out Haven, which they were really solid on. They let Breeze go through. So I still think that again, if they actually manage to go on the third map, we might possibly see them popping off against Reckoning, and maybe they would be the ones who will be put on that back foot for the adaptations. But we'll just have to wait and see if that happens.
Well, of course, all the people watching the stream as well, do let us know in the chat if you guys are looking forward to see the map of Breeze, or would you guys want Reckoning Esports to take it all away from the hands of True Rippers? Well, only time will tell, but for now, we are going to take a short little break before we head into the map of Ascent. Yes, you guys are watching Lenovo and Intel presents Convergence 2023 India Close Qualifiers by Riot Games and the Esports Club. This is me, Assassin47, along with me, Scared. We're going to take a short little break and we'll be right back with the map of Ascent. Stay tuned.
Watch fire! One enemy remaining.
After a dominating win coming in from Reckoning, they are ready to roll in the map of Ascent. But before that, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. You all are watching Lenovo and Intel presents Convergence 2023, brought to you by Riot Games and the Esports Club. This is the official first international Riot event of Valorant in India, and everyone is just on their nerves at this point. They are so very excited because, again, the first one was a very dominating game coming in from Reckoning, but the second one is a map of Ascent, which is basically called a home for true rippers. So maybe they can try and pull the second one off only to push us for the third map or breeze, or maybe it's going to be Reckoning taking the win in a 2-0 fashion and moving in the grand finals. We'll just have to wait and see. And to walk you through it, you've got me, Scared Yet, with me, the most amazing Assassin 47.
That's right. Well, I mean, Reckoning Esports going up against the True Rippers, right, on the map of Ascent is going to be something that I'm really excited for. Like, all of the Indian teams and players as well. Everyone absolutely loves the map of Ascent, and I can't wait to see what both of these teams are going to show us on the map of Ascent as well. As you did mention, it is kind of like a home map for the side of True Rippers. I am not sure, but seeing the performance Reckoning Esports showed us on Lotus, I feel Ascent is going to be no different. I feel the momentum is going to keep rolling into the favor of Reckoning Esports. Let's see. Not going to take anything away from the side of True Rippers. I am really excited to see what True Rippers are going to show us on Ascent as well. Everything is going to come down to the agent selection as well, which we are going to be getting into really soon. But Scared, before we jump into the map of Ascent, what kind of an agent selection are you looking forward to? But I guess it's too late for that since the agent selection is already ready and we are jumping straight into it as well. Ladies and gentlemen, Reckoning Esports versus True Rippers on the map of Ascent is live now with the agent selection. And wow, True Rippers, I think they did their homework, right? Since they have gone ahead and logged in all of their agents as well. Deathmaker on the Killjoy, Techno on the Omen, Helef on the KO. We are going to be seeing RU on the Sova and Disrupt on the Jet.
Yes, no change coming in from the standard Ascent composition. I feel bad. No Paper X crazy thing coming in this one. Maybe a Reina Viper. But either ways, yes, we've seen all of these compositions on the map of Ascent every single time. They go for the exact same picks. And yes, even though Excali is showing ISO, he showed Deadlock. Trust me, he's not going to pick that. He'll be locking in the Omen at the same time. Now, both of these teams have played Ascent in Convergence 2023 already. Reckoning, they played it against Medal, and trust me, they were dominating in the entire game. Especially Caramel and ANQ. They were the ones who top fragged in both of these games. So 13-6 was the score coming in from their side. While on the other hand, True Rippers, they were up against Grayfox, and it was a 13-10 scoreline wherein Disrupt just popped off along with Helef. So you already know that both of these duelists are just going to be on each other's neck at that point, because it is going to come down as to who wins out that jet duel, who provides his team the opening. And yes, since you've already mentioned that the momentum is in favor of Reckoning Esports, it might be possible that they would be steamrolling in this one, as we've already seen when they were up against each other in a different matchup. It was Reckoning who came out on top, even though everyone thought that Ascent is the home of True Rippers. It is the map where True Rippers probably could never lose, and they gave a tough competition to even Orangutan. So everyone thought that this might be a True Rippers game, but eventually Reckoning just came so very prepared, and it could be possible that we will see the same story in this one. But we'll just have to wait and see if in case True Rippers have got some kind of ace up their sleeve.
Well, since we are waiting for a little bit of time, right? I've just got the stats pulled up for that Reckoning versus Metal game, and I was just taking a quick look at the numbers, right? I mean, Caramel was the top fragger for that game, and that is very interesting because he was playing Killjoy. This is on the map of Ascent, by the way, upper bracket semifinals, Metal Esports versus Reckoning Esports, and Caramel was playing Killjoy. He had 21 frags with an ACS of 292. So we know that Reckoning Esports on the defense is going to be something really, really insane. I can also see ANQ with 19 frags. He has got an ADR of 154. So ANQ, well, on the jet, did really great. But interestingly, Adrian King was following ANQ as well. 15 frags, an ADR of 134 on the strat book ready for the map of Ascent. And since we are already into the map of Ascent now, let's start with the piss around. Ladies and gentlemen, Reckoning Esports versus True Rippers. Reckoning Esports on the attack side, True Rippers on the defense. Reckoning Esports stacked up outside of the A side. Looks like a pretty basic A hit, but you never know. Reckoning Esports might just be bamboozling True Rippers and possibly heading in over towards the B side. But for that, also, the setup doesn't really look like, a fake type of a play, right? Since every single player from Star Reckoning Esports is towards A. So really looking forward to see what exactly is going to happen. I think that it is just going to be a straight up rush, and that is exactly what it is going to be. ANQ is going to push in first. He's going to gain control. He's going to check all of the angles, while we're going to be seeing Adrian King going in for the spike plant. And it's time for a full 5-on-5 retake.
Yes, he did. Deathmaker is the one who's taking the fight to him. He will win out with that classic in hand, upgrading the weaponry to Sheriff. But they've got to speed up their retake. It's a 4v5 situation, and I don't like the post-plant position coming in from Reckoning, as already Excali just shut down while he was jumping into. He needs to make a play. He will be welcomed through the back of his head. Harsh and Adrian King still standing strong on the side only for so long as Deathmaker gets a 4k. But do they have enough time? That is the question. It might actually come down to just the last few seconds. They had 2 more seconds to work with, but still. That's a very solid round and a very solid start coming in from True Rippers.
I had no doubt about the time though, but what I had doubt about was the fact that True Rippers, were they going to be able to pull off the retake or not? And they proved me wrong. Reckoning Esports, despite having all of the side to themselves, despite having really good positions as well, True Rippers, well, they went in ham and they annihilated inside of Reckoning Esports. So really good retake, good start on the defense. And yes, we all know for a fact that Ascent is a defender-sided map, and True Rippers, well, they're going to take full advantage of that with Disrupt, going in aggressive, getting one frag, getting traded, but it's fine. There is LF to sort of trade him back as well. The 4 versus 3 situation, True Rippers still on the man advantage.
Going in for another re-clear, Excali. Oh, welcome. Oh my goodness, what a shot coming in from him. Getting another weaponry down now for some reason. This save round seems to be doable for Reckoning. Still got a minute to work with around that clock. Got the spike in hand as well. No weaponries upgraded though. So that's one good thing working in favor of True Rippers. But a couple of members' bodies outside the A main. That's about it. Hit could probably go in towards the C, but still you've got the KJ set up. You need to deal with it. And I don't think so they've got enough utilities. The recon boat, as it's been destroyed, will give out the information. It can try And get a rotation drawn out. Are you getting a couple of shots onto his head? Will hit that reload
30
as well. He
seconds
does not
left.
have the best weaponry to take this fight, and it's going to be Adrian King getting out on a crucial duel. Deathmaker has got the bulldog in hand. But at the same time, he needs to make use of it. 3v2 situation. Spike will be planted. He's clearing the angle. This could be everything. And Caramel gets taken down. There's a great play coming in from Deathmaker. He also expects
remaining.
Excali in that position. A high flash was used up, but it was just a second late. Excali gets taken down, and now it's down to a 1v2, wherein Techno will just get the spam kill. And the refusal will come in. True Rippers winning another round, but boy, that was expensive.
Getting Esports to walk away with that round, and the sole reason for that was it all came down to a 3 versus 3, and they had control of the B side. I thought that if the play coming out from Caramel might have worked out, Reckoning Esports would have put the first round on the board for themselves, and that too, in the 50 round.
Exactly. But alas, that's not how things went. Still, True Rippers, they had to run for their money after all. Full of sheriffs in hand. They still have 2 bulldogs, so they can try and deal some damage to Reckoning, but that would probably be about it, as Reckoning have got a massive weaponry advantage and want to play a slow round. They've got the mid control, they've got the cat control, but this could be everything. In Q goes in for a very wide peak, and he actually doubles it up as well. Disrupt and RU, both of them have been taken care of, and it's just Deathmaker using the nanosons to delay any kind of push. And I don't think so Reckoning need to do anything apart from what they've already done. They've got a couple of picks. It's best not to give any kind of 1v1s whatsoever. And since they've got 2 picks on towards the B side, they can try and go in for a full flood execute, because what's the maximum that's going to happen? Maybe 3 members towards that side. That's about it. And the read coming in from True Rippers is just so very off. You're going to get a side for free, but Deathmaker does not make it for free. In any case, Harsh gets taken down. 4v3 situation. The spike has already made its way, and all 3 of them are actually going in for the backstab look.
Spike planted.
Well, Deathmaker doing Deathmaker things, getting kills left, right, and center. At the same time, the entirety of True Rippers were supposedly had to come in from the A mains, but I feel it is going to be down to Helef and Deathmaker now to come in from the A mains, and they both are going to get instantly shut down by Caramel. Pretty good peak coming out from Caramel as well to get a double for himself, and it all comes down to Techno in a 1 versus 4. I thought he might be able to get one, but that's not going to happen. So 2-1, True Rippers. Well, yeah. I mean, True Rippers did lose out on that round, but the best part was Reckoning Esports. Despite the man disadvantage, they did not, sort of lose courage. And of course, the early picks coming out from Reckoning Esports were really fruitful. Both Aryo and Disrupt were really aggressive over towards the B mains.
Let us hunt right here.
That is indeed true. But again, at the same time, now I want to focus on what kind of execute will Reckoning go forward with this. They've gone in for a few pacey hits. They've also slowed things down. Maybe walking up towards the mid seems to be a pretty solid strategy at this point, because Disrupt has already been noted. So they would have an idea that he's probably standing towards the pizza. Spam is there. Helef actually supports him, and even the nade comes out on top. Trades go back and forth, but it still eventually favors the side of Reckoning. Only for so long as Techno finds another opening towards the cat. ANQ wants to change that. Nanosong's gonna go in, but he already used the TP. That's gonna be the Cloudburst right in his face. The question is who finds who? 17 HP. That's gonna be a double peak coming in. ANQ with the shorty in hand. Delivers the punishment, delivers the judgment. And it's only RU with Odin, Sova with the Odin, and that's a love story no one forgets. He goes in for the spam strike, goes planted, and he also gets a pick onto Caramel. Down to just 13 HP though. And throw that recon dart, but ANQ. Question is he going for a peak? Yes, he goes for a very wide peak and gets the 4K in the round to win it for his own team. And also now forces True Rippers for an eco, which is a very solid opportunity for Reckoning to gain the advantage in the map of Ascent on the attacking side. This is a defense-centric map. And even after that, we are just seeing True Rippers getting shattered on their defense.
My heart almost skipped a beat when the first Odin kill connected. I thought that, if he does connect the final one on towards ANQ, then that might have been a great clutch. But yeah, we all know. Log things for the side of Reckoning Esports. A 2-all. As we move on towards round number 5. Deathmaker once again pushing in. He's going to do his thing over towards mid now. Almost. Getting the frag on towards the Sova as well, but on the other side of the map, Reckoning Esports, well, they are aggressively pushing in towards B. They've got 3 players, along with the Spike as well, moving in towards B. Disrupt holding towards the market. ANQ, be able to get that frag, or is Disrupt gonna white peak and absolutely delete ANQ off the server? 55 seconds. Reckoning Esports have all the time in the world, by the way. If they still want to reconsider, they can, but, well, they're going to go ahead and commit. And Deathmaker, well, he's also going to do the same. He's going to push up, he's going to get himself that frag, walk right into that smoke, and just hold on to that man advantage that he has right now. Because that is going to come handy when they're going to go in for the retake. But with Caramel going ahead and taking down Deathmaker, that means that once again it's going to be an equalizer. 4 versus 4. And Helef off screens, gets a frag on towards Caramel. Not bad. There's a lot of time. Pro Rippers, they can take this slowly as well. Once again, they are in a man advantage. RU has got himself a Vandal as well. Gonna be seeing a nice little recon coming in to help get that information on towards RU and Disrupt. He might just be sitting onto the defuse, but that is not gonna happen, as it's gonna be all down to Disrupt now in a 1 versus 2. Suddenly, the entire, the entire situation flipped onto the side of Two Rippers. It was just down to Disrupt in a 1 versus 2.
Yeah, it was so very messy from both of the teams because, again, you saw Reckoning, they were ready to go in for the execute. It was stopped right away for only a few seconds, wherein Deathmaker landed a nasty shot with the Sheriff. But yeah, eventually they decided, yes, they want to still go in for the hit. They still had to consider the fact that there might be someone playing in the boathouse towards the backside, which there was apparently no one. Null Command was also invested in that round. So you already know the Reckoning would have to go in for that full commit whatsoever. They went in, planted the spike, but then also had to focus on where the retake flood would be coming in from. And the trades just went in back and forth. Even at that last few seconds, we realized, that Soa did not have any idea which it exactly was. So Hers was just firing out in the open, in the wild, trying to get a pick or two. But that's what happened in the previous one. We're going to focus on this one as Disrupt. He did not realize that there's a couple of people who've already made the cross towards the tree. Killjoy's setup is towards the A, so it will give out the information as the alarm bot was there. Helef is getting blinded by his own flash, will have to move backwards. Alarm bot, as soon as it gets taken care of, True Rippers will realize this is going to be an A hit. Techno is just ready with his TP. And it could be disastrous as again. Look at the members of Reckoning slowly creeping forward, gets into the heaven, gets one Helef, goes in for a pop flash, but will be dealt with by ANQ. He realized that's exactly what is happening, and he actually gets the third one for himself as well. Deathmaker just in hell, and boy, this is a living hell. This specific side, he will be taken down. Excali wins it. And that's the story of round number 6, as it will go for Reckoning. Disrupt is just tugging tails. He's running back to save his op. And Excali is on the hunt. And we welcome with a shot for one. But I don't think so. The rest of the members will probably go in for a hunt. No, they are actually going in. They want to take this op away, Assassin.
Of course, you don't want to let Disrupt save that operator and move in towards the next round. But the thing is that Reckoning Esports, the show of force is incredible, especially ANQ, man. What a beast. The way he's just been, making these executes possible left, right, and center and Disrupt. Ooh, he did it. He did hear something towards markets and possibly the switch. And okay, and there you go. Harsh is going to be dealt with. Well, Disrupt is going to be able to save that operator. Take it on towards round number 7. There's a little bit of a timeout. A tactical one coming in from True Rippers, which they really need. Right now is the time for them to take a small pause and figure out what they're doing wrong. Because there are a lot of leaks, and I would like to elaborate on that as well. Reckoning Esports for the previous round, they had a very easy walk-in towards A shot, and that is something that is not at all acceptable, right? When you're defending, there is
Exactly.
a player holding mid, but he's not aggressively holding mid, so he has no information on whether someone is walking into shot or not. At the same time, he was smoked out as well, so there should have been an instant rotate towards A shot,
Hmm.
which did not come.
Yes, that is
And
true.
ANQ, yeah, ANQ just sneaked in, took aggressive control towards Gardens, and eventually to the A Heavens position as well. Got himself 2 frags and got that insane execute possible for the side of Reckoning Esports.
That was a very deep stroke as well, almost towards the CT. So they knew that it's going to be a push coming in towards the spawn. So I think so. True Rippers, they were kind of ready, but ANQ was, let's just say, he had that ANQ thing going out, wherein he was just ready for that pop flash play, tossed that flash, and then got that second one for himself. The round was almost done for at that point. But as for this one, round number 7, the timeout was taken by True Rippers, so they should have something cooked up already, as you can already see 4 people towards the A side. Spike towards B, not yet being committed though. So it is clear that Reckoning want to figure out where this operator is. And the question is, do they realize it's actually the hands of Deathmaker towards B? Because that's where they are slowly creeping forward. The entire A and mid control has been taken by the side of True Rippers, so they already know what's happening in this round. Mid, yes, it was left open, but still, there's no one creeping in towards it. That's going to be the execute coming in towards the double door as well. Yeah, door's gonna go down. ANQ just taking control of that side. And even though Reckoning had a full read of what's happening, they just could not stop this execute from coming in. The spike will go down, and they don't have the B main control. They still have got the mid control, so can flood in towards the side from 3 different angles. But the question is, how good is going to be their coordination? ANQ's angle has been noted. Even the lockdown has been invested. 1-for-1 trade coming in. Deathmaker was good for 1, and that's going to be, again, side steps coming in. Helef was good for that trade. Deathmaker getting 2 with the op. But at the other end, Caramel as well. Very solid. No one caught inside that lockdown. Ferret's going to give some information, but Deathmaker is still got to make another play. 2v2 is the situation. He's got his own lockdown, and now it's just a 1v2. I don't think so that's going to happen.
I absolutely love.
Yeah.
I absolutely loved. Yeah, I absolutely love that fake. Like, he just threw a shorty to kind of distract Deathmaker, but, well, they should be aware of the fact that Simple made that play a very long time ago. And possibly everyone out there in the world knows what kind of a fake throw that is. Deathmaker is not going to be easily fooled like that. But yeah, Deathmaker, really good stuff. Taking down all the guns from the side of Reckoning Esports. And it does matter, right? Even though True Rippers might have not won that round, it's very important to look at the entire game from an economical standpoint, to sort of constantly put that economical pressure on the side of the other team so that they make bad decisions.
Absolutely true. And again, Disrupt this time being posted so very aggressively in B main, gets the head onto Adrian King right away, and that's KO gone. No more flashes to work with. Apart from just one paranoia, which Helef seems to be so very eager to take down as well. He's going to use the fragment to clear on that cubby, and there's absolutely no one there since Excali just already moved out of that place. They already know where the op was posted, so now are going in for towards the A split. ANQ making another contact play, gets the cloud burst in his face. Disrupt holding mid. They've lost the cat control already. They don't have any A main control. That's going to be the Hunter's Fury invested to clear out any close corners whatsoever. ANQ, my goodness, with a shorty, and gets taken out of the picture. And that gives them the control of the tree. Are you still standing strong in the side? Where Helef, as they will be stopping any kind of push coming in from that one choke point. It's down to just a 3v4 situation. Make it a 2v4 or 1v4. Are you? It's just insane. What a beautiful shutdown from True Rippers. Had a perfect read of what's happening around the map. and then slowly went in for those rotations as well. Another brilliant read finally, and they needed it, Assassin, because they were lagging behind on Ascent and defense. They needed to get that read right.
And it's all thanks to the clever, setup change coming out from True Rippers, right? They changed their entire defense setup. When there was an aggression towards A main, there was still the Sova looking at the gardens area. Like it was like True Rippers had a control over every single avenue Reckoning Esports might try and come in from and disrupt. Well, he's not going to stop doing his thing. He's just going to keep aggressing. He's going to get himself a frag, fall back. This is good. Even though the entirety of Reckoning Esports, there are the four players left that try to move in towards B, they can safely leave it into the hands of Deathmaker and Aryu because they are an unstoppable force towards B. As both of them, they both duel up, get themselves a frag each, and bring it down to a 5 versus 2 situation in their favor. Now, Harsh and Caramel, what are they going to be able to do? They did take down Disrupt, but that's not it. They have other forces to deal with in the name of RU and Deathmaker. And that's not going to be possible, right? Since Reckoning Esports, they push so much. Instead of putting in more and more force onto the defenders on the side, they further pushed in and tried taking care of the defenders towards the defender side of spawn to try and maybe make an A play, but they did not have enough time because it was already too late.
That is true. And again, Reckoning have been working so very slow in these attacking rounds in the last few at least. Now, True Rippers have got a very solid read. They know that they will be just staying put. They will not be moving forward that aggressively. And using that information, True Rippers first made a play towards the B, wherein they got the head of Adrian King. And then in the next one, they made a play towards the A. So I really love the utilization of the operator coming in first towards B and then towards A, getting Excalibur. That's the smoke out of the picture. So you already know you've got a lot of control. And just because they lost the entire A main control, Reckoning had to make a play. They made the play towards mid, but they had absolutely no idea how many people would actually be on site. And as Adrian King was making that drop from the stairs, he was welcomed by the shots coming in from RU. And you already know Deathmaker is just doing his own thing. Skill just set up towards the B. This could not beat it whatsoever. So maybe we'll probably see a pace change coming in this time around from Reckoning, as they're all creeping ahead towards the Gelato. So it's possible they might go in for some early aggressive plays and opt posted around towards the tree and mid. So, you'll not be getting any kind of mid control whatsoever. Some shots being fired in that smoke. Now, I love the smoke coming in from Reckoning because it basically gives them an advantage. But Disturb just playing way too ahead in that. Goodness. He's just not respecting anything. Gets the head of Caramel. He was so far ahead in that fight. And that's already 2-member advantage inside of True Rippers. What a great read. Flash gonna come in. But even after that, it's just going to be Techno retreating back to safety. No one's getting any kind of pick in that situation.
Well, to be completely honest, the side of Reckoning Esports as well, right? The smoke that you're mentioning, it's a very standard smoke. Right? That's the kind of smoke that you would put to gain control towards mid and possibly head in towards A shot or maybe, possibly make a play towards the mid area, that is. But the clever the clever combo play coming in from the side of True Rippers is what's helping them. Disrupt's push, right? Disrupt is pushing in aggressively from A shot. At the same time, he is being backed up by the player who's playing mid. The mid player is not scared of the smoke. As you mentioned, he's pushing in through the smoke, right? And that is exactly the kind of combo play that I'm talking about. The combo play is something that is enabling the side of True Rippers to make such bold decisions, and it is spanning out in their favor as well. Disrupt pushing in towards A shot and watching the tiles area is because of the fact that the mid player is coming out of the smoke and watching high mid for him. So there's that trust factor as well, right? The combo play that I'm talking about. Because of this aggressive gameplay coming out from these individual combo plays made by the combos at True Rippers is what is giving them the opportunity to secure all of these rounds. And this is the kind of setup change that I was talking about. A quick change in setup is giving True Rippers an opportunity to make a comeback. And most probably, if this entire you know, momentum is going to keep rolling for the side of True Rippers, they are going to go ahead and, you know, have an advantage in the first half itself. Because up until now, we thought that Reckoning Esports is going to walk away with the first half going in their favor, like with a point advantage, of course. But with the recent plays made by True Rippers, I feel that True Rippers might just come out on top as we close out the first half as well. But just to give you
Highly
guys
possible.
quick info, yeah, just to guys, sorry to cut you off by the way, just a quick info, guys. There's a tech pause that is called by one team, so we are back onto the caster desk. So yes, continue, Skadian.
So again, very well mentioned the way True Rippers are now going in for those combo plays, but at the same time, I also want to bring the focus onto the point where they are making the plays. For the previous few rounds, we've seen them reacting to what Reckoning was bringing on the table. And if it's a B push, then they would just try and play safe, going for a front retake, and similar kind of plays, right? They were reacting to what Reckoning was bringing on the table. But this time, for the past 3 straight rounds, we have seen them making the play. Once towards the B, then towards the A main, then towards the cat. Where is going to be the next one? Maybe towards the B back again, or maybe this time around Disrupt would hold the angle from mid directly towards the cat to catch someone in, trying to make any kind of rotation towards the A or going for a split. So I really love the way they're rotating their op, and this is one of the reasons why Reckoning was trying to take that op away, because they know the potential of that operator. We did not see any op in the previous game on the map of Lotus, so I was really surprised at that. But finally seeing it back in play, it's soothing. It's very soothing. Plus, you cannot disagree to the fact that those kills were just so awesome.
Absolutely. And the operator out of the hands of Disrupt is just deadly. So you have to somehow just go ahead and take away that operator. That operator is going to cost you rounds, and that is something that Reckoning Esports failed to do, right? They failed to take away the operator, and now they're just getting, taken down left, right, and center all across the map, whether it be Deathmaker, whether it be Disrupt. Both of these unstoppable forces from the side of True Rippers have been doing really good. Now, I want to talk a little bit about Reckoning Esports and what they kind of can do better, right? I believe that the entire change in momentum because of this aggressive play being made by True Rippers, Reckoning Esports has slowed down a little bit. And it is the right course of action because, as you would expect, right? Like a basic game sense is if the defenders are pushing, instead of you going ahead and giving them kills, might as well wait for them to, show up right in front of your crosshairs. And that is something that Reckoning Esports is trying to do as well. They're holding on, but it's not working out. Now I believe that they have to start pulling off fakes. They have to make some interesting lurk plays as well. They have to completely change their, playstyle a little bit in order for them to take down this fortress that is built from the side of True Rippers.
And it's all on the back of plays being made by Disrupt, plays being made by Deathmaker, and on the back of it, you're also seeing RU stepping up now. So these are the kind of things that works out in their favor. When one of them makes the play, everyone else follow as well. It's always based on momentum. You already mentioned it before we even started this series. You mentioned how momentum based were both of these teams, and not just these two, almost all the teams in the Pacific region. They're very momentum based. You talk about PaperX, you talk about SMG, you talk about any Indian team. If they're winning a few rounds, they will keep on winning. They're fragging a couple of frags, and they will continue to move forward in that exact same pace. And it basically helps their own team out as well because they do the exact same thing. So we've seen RU stepping up in this one as well. So that is where the problem is now arising for Reckoning. They're not getting a good read as to where the operator is posted. And then when the first pick is taken in favor of True Rippers, they reactively make a play on towards the other part of the map, wherein they're welcomed by two other people who are just anchoring that site alone and probably in a crossfire or. So I really love again the play that is being made by both of these teams. We're in a situation where it's down to a 5-5. So yes, I think so. It could probably go for a True Rippers round again. We still have a buy coming in for the side of Reckoning, so it could go either ways. But just the way things have been going right now, and the place where the operator is again posted, I think so. This might as well be a True Rippers round if in case they get a few early pick. That is.
Well, let's see what this round has in store for us, because I did mention, right, this dynamic operator play coming out from Disrupt is really killing Reckoning Esports. And once again, they are going to be a man down. And are you? Oh my god.
I got the spike.
Wow. Average Jonas moment right there with the shock darts. Aryu is going to be getting himself a frag with the shock dart, and Caramel, well, is going to be really disappointed. All in all, True Rippers, 5 versus 3 situation for them. They don't really have to, go ahead aggressively trying to, get some kills or anything like that. They're not in that situation. And this particular play by Hellfighter might have just cost them that round, because now it's down to a 3 versus 2. And if the players from the side of Reckoning do get these frags, they might just end up winning the round. But Disrupt, somebody take that operator away.
Last round before the switch.
No way, it's not going anywhere whatsoever. True Rippers are just on a steamroll. Losing the first few rounds, but then getting 4 in succession. That's exactly what you want to see from them. And operator, in every other round, you see it being posted on towards the other part of the map. The previous one towards the end, now towards the cat to control mid. Will Reckoning expect it? That's the question. They've still got Vandals to work with. Still got a shorty or two, but just look at the confidence now that True Rippers have. Straight up walking mid. Excali is pinged out, is taken down. RG also has the operator, but ANQ trying to find some kind of opening, just down to 2 HP. Disrupt would be trying to run out of the harm's way. Will be able to do so. Now this double op is something that Reckoning did not expect, and they were welcomed by a surprise. They learned the hard way, but still just a 3v4. Disrupt is barely breathing. Down to the scissors, and that's Adrian King not checking the corner. Helef utilizing that. The pop flash coming in. Command used up. Deathmaker as well, taking Caramel down, and Helef will be wrapping things up, getting the life of Hirsch, and ending the half in a 7-5 fashion. Another beautiful half, this time coming in from True Rippers, and that timeout really did help them.
Teams did really help them. It enabled the side of Reckoning Esports try and get something done, but at the same time, True Rippers, well, man, they're still in the lead. And I did talk about this, right, when we were in that break as well. We expected Reckoning Esports to walk away with the advantage after the first half.
True.
But the entire shift in play coming out from True Rippers, it got them 7 rounds instead of Reckoning Esports. So yes, once again, I feel one of the player is disconnected, or he's I don't know, AFK. Yeah, there's a technical timeout called, so waiting for that player to come back. But in the meanwhile, as we head in over towards the second half, right, it's time for Reckoning Esports to show us that marvelous gameplay I was talking about in the pre-match segment. Against Medal Esports, they had a really good defender side, and it was Caramel who was the star of that matchup. He's once again right in front of our screens, and he's going to be holding on over towards the B side. So yes, Reckoning Esports, well, I really want to see that defender side.
And I love the fact that you actually brought this forward, right? Because, yes, when True Rippers were playing against Grayfox on the map of Ascent, we also saw them performing really well on their attack side. But when, True Rippers, they actually went on towards the attack. They were really good on the defense, but when they went on towards the attack, they were struggling a lot. And there was a point wherein Grayfox actually had the lead in that game. So if you're looking back at things and you focus how problematic True Rippers attacking sides have been, it kind of comes down to the calls that are being made during those attacks. Because yes, you go in with a set piece of strategy, but again at the same time you also need to have some kind of adaptations up for the play, which seem to be kind of lacking. If in case their first set is read upon and they kind of do not find any opening, getting back in the round seems even more difficult, more like an very difficult uphill battle for them. So I think so. If in case True Rippers can brush that off and they can try and find a few early picks and try to set the momentum in their favor, then they would be able to close things out. Otherwise, Reckoning might have it in
The game now, ladies and gentlemen. The second half of the map of Ascent. Reckoning Esports. It's time for them to make a comeback. Or is it going to be True Rippers all the way? Let's find out, shall we? True Rippers. Well, they've got a strong mid presence. So there's that. Slowly trying to creep in over towards the A shots. They've got Adrian King holding on at the Gardens. ANQ along with Excali is going to back him up as well. But Caramel, look at the push coming in from Caramel as well. So they get so much information. He has already relayed in that information as well that the entirety of True Rippers have already made their way in towards A shot, in towards Garden, and into the site as well. But Excali.
Player standing.
That's going to be the name onto the face of each of these players from the side of True Rippers trying to move in to the A side as Excali gets himself a quad and he's looking for the ace as well. The classic up close and personal. We all know what it can do. Deathmaker, we know for a fact that this guy never misses on a 1v1 duel. But Excali, well, he has got prestation to save as well and he's going to do just that. An ace for Excali as he's going to get the pistol in the second half for Reckoning Esports. What a round from this Chad.
4K from Deathmaker is one thing, but what's better than that? An ace for Excali, just the way he was maneuvering around the Jenny. My god, that was so very nasty and also heartbreaking for True Rippers at the same time because they just had to deal with one more person. And they kept on giving him the 1v1s, he kept on taking them delightfully to serve as a great meal, and what an ace coming in from him. That's just one way to start a round, and on the back of it, he now has also upgraded weaponry. He's got a Phantom in hand right away. You normally would see the Vandals probably being given to the Duelists, but this time around, he's like, it's fine. I am the Duelist of our team. I'll be the Sentinel as well to anchor the site alone, and he's done that brilliantly. But looking at this defensive setup, there are almost 3 people towards the end. That's going to be the execute coming in. Nate's going to stop it for a while. That's going to be the first pick going in. Back-to-back trades.
Down A.
See back and forth. Yeah, Deathmaker was also good for one. Taking down Adrian King. ANQ's just got a Marshal in hand. Harsh will be moving forward, slowly creeping ahead. They've lost the Phantom that they had in the hands of Excali, so that is going to be a problem.
It's time for the side of Reckoning Esports to go in for the retake now once again. Let's see how this is going to pan out. We do have a player up close and personal, and Caramel has got himself the shotgun as well. He's going to pull it out. He's
Double kill.
down to a 2 versus 2.
Remaining.
And it's going to be Caramel once again, getting that frag on towards Hellfire. A 1 versus 1. Oh my god, once again, Deathmaker in this situation. Oh, is he going to be able to pull this off this time? Yes, he will.
Only bring a ruler next
A
time.
quad for Deathmaker as he's going to put up the 8th on the board for True Rippers. And he's going to tell Reckoning Esports that, okay, Excali might have saved you the previous round, but this round, I'm not going to miss.
Not going to miss. He only had 4 bullets in the magazine. And that's all it took for him to get the round and still maintain the lead. True Rippers just ripping apart Reckoning. And all of these rounds, they just get so very messy, so very close. It's about time we probably see some kind of domination from one of those teams, but both of them just deny it entirely. Looking at the buy, yes, it's going to be a full buy coming in for True Rippers, and they're already on the attack side. Deathmaker has been popping off like anything. 22 and 5. He's literally died only 5 times. And even if we're looking at those stats, right, you look at the round difference, it's just 8 and 6. Yes, it would probably be a 9 and 6 situation looking at the buy since it's a full save for Reckoning. But again, it just seems that Reckoning is having a trouble reading what True Rippers are bringing on the table. Yes, when they were on the attack, they were facing the same kind of problem. Now they're on the defense. They're having the read. This might be an A hit, but those trays will just go back and forth, and they're not able to stop the members of True Rippers directly on that choke point. And that's where they need to focus on, or maybe do not give them so much of map space, at least towards the A lane.
A little bit of a technical timeout, guys. You guys can see it on your screens as well, but just wanted to pass on the information. Yeah, I believe the tech issue has been resolved. Yes, it is. We are back into action. 5 seconds left to see who exactly is going to walk away with round 15 for the second map of this best of 3 matchup. 3 players from the side of True Rippers holding outside B, whereas 2 of them are holding outside A and mid, respectively. I feel this is going to be a nice hold coming out from True Rippers, in my opinion, because look at the push coming in from Reckoning Esports. They're just pushing in from the A main's position. Well, Aryu, he's going to be the one to get 2 frags and trade his fallen comrade. Yeah, he's going to upgrade to the Vandal as well. The good one, of course. But yeah, he was just messing around. He just wanted to throw away the weapon out of the map so that
Exactly.
the players who are in eco from the side of Reckoning Esports don't have a hold on it. So the 4 versus 3 situation now with 45 seconds left under the clock. The final hit is coming in towards B for True Rippers. 2 players from Reckoning Esports are still holding on towards B. That is our started player, Caramel, who's going to be holding with the Sheriff. But this time around, though, he's not going to be able to do much with the Sheriff, as it's going to be Disrupt to take him down. Harsh, all by his lonesome towards Boathouse. Gonna get taken care of by Aryu. And it's gonna be down to Adrian King in a 1 versus 4. Now, Adrian King, well, the hunt is on for him by Disrupt and team. And they're gonna do just that. They're just gonna take down Adrian King, secure the 9th round of the board. With that, a tactical timeout being called in from Reckoning Esports.
The technical timeouts were not enough for them. They're calling the second timeout as well of this game because, yes, they really need it in this situation. It was an eco, yes, understandable, but at the same time, you still need to deal a decent amount of damage probably to your opponents. Maybe get a few of those rifles off their hand. Just 1, 2, or 3, make it a little more difficult. Again, it seems that the read of Reckoning is actually pretty decent, right? Because every other time we've seen them stacking up the site where the hit is going. In the round prior to this one, we saw them stacking towards the tree, as well as a couple of members towards the site holding it. But what they need to focus on is probably to take space proactively. They fought in the previous one wherein they took A main control. Yes, they lost a couple of members, but yeah, they were at the weaponry disadvantage. So they were also able to get 1 weapon off of their hands. And on the back of it, they were able to stack a couple of people towards the B, where eventually the hit landed. So the read coming in from Reckoning is still pretty solid, but at the same time, now they've also got to focus on to win those gunfights, at least take the ones that are favorable to them.
You're absolutely right about that. Round number 16 now. Same kind of a setup coming out from True Rippers, where they're holding for aggressive pushes coming out from Reckoning Esports. This time it's Excali. And, okay, the Jet is pushing as well. I really want to see that. Thank you with that, operator. I want to see this happen. Check the corner.
Yeah, that is true.
He was suspicious of the Omen, teleporting there. Because the Omen did teleport, but the Omen did not teleport where ANQs, sort of expected him to. But yeah, with Excali pushing up with the Vandal, I believe he's going to get the edge on Techno. Yes, Techno goes down. That is a man advantage. Good. Lockdown plays towards B. Looks like a B hit for True Rippers. There are 2 players from True Rippers still coming from mid and in towards Market, whereas Caramel is going to be blind as a bat, as he's not going to be able to react at all. He's going to be completely flashed. But Ash is there to sort of take on the reins, and yes, it is going to be Disrupt to get taken down as well. And once again, Excali shows up big for Reckoning Esports, as they are going to secure the 7th round on the board. Yeah, Deathmaker in a 1 versus 3 situation. I'm not really sure if he's going to be able to do much. He is going to go in for the peek towards Defender Status Spawn to just maybe, get that edge, get 1 kill and go in for the plant.
10 seconds left.
But there's no time. Look at the time.
Yeah, he's only got a couple of more seconds. Can he get the plant down? Yes, he will be able to get that down. Presence has been detected, so he will be taken away after that. But at least he got the spike down, so that's one good thing happening for him. I love the combo play coming in from True Rippers, especially towards the market, wherein they knew that Killjoy would probably be playing there. Caramel was right there, and the read was perfect for them. There were a couple of mollies right away on those common positions where you normally throw them. So if in case the suppression did not come at that point from KO, Caramel would have popped off both of those mollies to stop the players coming in from A main, and that would have been even more disastrous for the side of True Rippers. So they were able to deal with the Killjoy, but after that they did not realize that Excali was also coming in for the hunt, wherein he was able to get a 4k in the previous round, 3k before he got Deathmaker. So that was where things turned out to be disastrous for them. But I love the fact that Reckoning did make a push forward towards A main, taking that control, taking that space. Excali on the other hand has already been scanned up, and this is the exact push that you were talking about. ANQ, he does not know where Techno is.
Oh no!
Could either
He's
way
dead.
to take the round. He was scanned up,
Yes.
and he'll be taken down as well. ANQ avoiding a disaster.
Well, look at the Sova as well, patiently waiting for the players to walk into B because A is not happening. Well, True Rippers, you cannot execute at the A side because Excali and A and Q, they are just waiting for you. Yeah, Disrupt. All down to him in a 1 vs 4. And there comes A and Q, the Jet versus Jet battle. And A and Q wins it out. Yeah, I mean, it's given, right? Disrupt on the defender side was the guy who was popping up with the operator.
One enemy remaining.
Now it's time for A and Q to show who's the boss.
Absolutely true. And I love the knife play coming in, because every other time they just go in for the same knife to scan out that one specific area. And that is what gave away the position of Omen in that situation, which
Get out of my
eventually
way.
led to that pick in favor of ANQ with the operator, and then follow it up towards the other side as well. The start popping off the Jet.
Oh.
Nice will be welcomed by the off shot by ANQ right away.
Wow.
And he actually doubles it up as well, taking Deathmaker, controlling the B main. What a great way to just stop any kind of push happening. Shorty in hand, close and personal, still will decide to just move back, conceding the space towards the market. So Excali would have to play very passive towards the spawn, because he could be flanked in right away from the mid. But look at this defensive setup coming in. ANQ gets his third one as well, and that's going to be Excali getting LF right away from the market. They know the position of Techno. At best, he gets one more. ANQ denies even that. And Assassin, it just seems to me that the team who has got the operator will get those rounds.
I mean, but yeah, jokes aside, right? It is just the brilliant dynamic play coming in from ANQ. He's been doing a fantastic job playing multiple angles across the map every single round. He's doing a great job along with Excali, making sure that Reckoning Esports have that map control. And I don't see any difference, right? This is something that they did on Lotus, and they're doing the same thing. And that is exactly the name of the game as well. Yeah, Excali now he has heard a lot. He knows what's happening towards A main. And I feel that he's just gonna try and get a frag, fall back, let Agent King do something as well, but nah, both of them are gonna get taken down by the same player with the Sheriff, that is Hellfighter. Yeah, ANQ all by his lonesome onto the side in a 1 versus 4 situation, make it a 1 versus 3. And yeah, he's gonna get taken down finally. But yeah, that is harsh. Instantly rotated towards the A heavens as well. 2 versus 2, 55 seconds. It is doable. Yeah, it is completely doable. But with Techno, holding on to that operator, I believe that Caramel has to be very, very careful.
I have the spike.
Because he's holding on towards the A shots, right? And
Last player
one
standing.
small mistake and he's gonna get taken down. That is exactly what I'm talking about, right? True Rippers, they are getting a lot of map control now because they have accustomed to the play being made by Reckoning Esports. And there you have it. The same operator that ANQ was popping off with as soon as it went into the hands of Throw Rippers. They did the same thing.
That is indeed true. They left the op right there. Did not want to take into the next one, but I love the fact that KNQ holding it so very strong was able to get a couple of picks in that situation, but it's just that the help did not arrive on time. He was taken down. Flooding the site was the good decision from True Rippers, and honestly, it should have been expected by Reckoning that since it's a thrifty round, it's a safe round, everyone would just try to play up close and they would try to take that contact play. ANQ again welcoming Hella with that operator shot, finds the opening for his team, controls the mid, but little do they know
Killed my bot.
that everyone's working towards the cat. Disrupt will be taking care of the alarm bot. Now, look at ANQ holding so very passive in the spawn because this deep smoke gives the opportunity to True Rippers to take control of the market or try and flood towards the spawn and make some another crazy play out of that one. Owl Drone will be tagging Disrupt, but that's basically expected because they've given up on that entire space. Now ANQ will be moving even farther back. Null Command was also used up. Reckoning, they're just throwing everything in the mix. They've got an idea where the hit will probably land because B is still perfectly locked down. And the only part they don't have a control of is going to be the tree where 3 people are stacked up. And look at every other angle that's being, oh my god, this knife has been destroyed. It could have scanned all 3 of them, but everyone's just moving towards the spawn. I am still very confused where this hit is going to be landing in from True Rippers because they seem to have absolutely no idea. ANQ, as soon as the
30
smoke
seconds
fades
left.
away, he'll be welcomed by Techno. He's just making so much of that noise. 25 more seconds to work with. Caramel gets an important frag on to argue. And this basically puts True Rippers in a position wherein they cannot go towards any of those sides. Cloudburst being used in. Only 13 more seconds to work with. Even lockdown has been
10 seconds
invested.
left.
They are just being denied space everywhere. Deathmaker in the midst of his all was able to get 1 pick, but he cannot get the round for his team. Caramel will pray for survival. And what a messy round coming in from True Rippers. And Assassin, this is exactly what I wanted to talk about and what I was saying before. True Rippers have got a good understanding of the early part of the game, but the mid-rounding is where they face lot of problem.
The mid-round calls have been a bit dicey, agreed. And that round, oh my, I don't even know where to start with. Like, at first it thought like, okay, it looked like it was a B split, which instantly shifted to it being a complete rush towards A shot, which suddenly shifted to them just holding on towards trees for a very long time, giving the opportunity for Reckoning Esports to rotate and get all the control they need to stop this push coming in from True Rippers. And then True Rippers at one point were so clueless that they did not know what to do because Reckoning Esports were all over the map. Caramel had already aggressed in towards A shot. And yeah, I mean, it was just bonkers. That round was just bonkers coming out from the side of True Rippers. But it's okay. Once again, I feel that True Rippers, now that they have a man advantage, they have to move in together as a unit to one side. And they absolutely cannot rethink. And I feel that, yeah, Disrupt might just be able to get the frag on towards Excali. Nah, not happening. Anyways, Excali is just going to fall back. And yeah, they're gonna regroup towards B side. And True Rippers are going to move in to B as well. Well, it's all down to Hush now. And he's aware of these
30
plays.
seconds left.
He's going to get himself one, but that's all he's going to get. It's time for the rotations to come in. Reckoning Esports, a 3 versus 4 situation. You guys are on a man disadvantage. And with 20 seconds left onto the clock, True Rippers are not going to waste any time. They're just going to check all the corners and they're going to go in for that spike plant. And it's time for you, Reckoning Esports, to once again show us the retakes you did on the map of Lotus right here on Ascent. With that operator, that is something that is bugging me a little bit because that operator might not prove fruitful. And yes, they're going to get doubled up. You know, the side of True Rippers are going to double in. Take down both the players aggressing in from markets, and it all comes down to Agent King in a 1 versus 4 situation. Well, there's nothing much you can do. Probably get some exits, do economical damage to True Rippers. But 1 is all he's going to get, and yeah, 11 to 10 now. True Rippers on the lead, 1 point away from match point. Reckoning Esports, let's just hope that they have the money to go into the buy this round. Otherwise, they will have to go eco. They have to let True Rippers
Yeah,
get to
they're
match
going
point
eco.
and drag this game to an overtime.
They're probably going in for the eco as well, because since you're already talking about the buy, you know they cannot afford an operator whatsoever. And when it's in the hand of Disrupt, he basically found the opener, and eventually it was the Killjoy who fell down. So you knew that the hit was going to be towards the B side possibly, because that's where normally Killjoy goes in for their setups. ANQ is just playing with lava at this point, not with fire. He's playing with lava. Lucky to keep his life from that shot. But will be now taking control of the mid. So since it's the eco round for Reckoning, True Ripper should not have any major problems into getting a win in this one. But the knife probably scan a couple of people at max, maybe, but that's about it. Are you getting the information on towards the mid? We are still seeing a possibility of maybe a pinch by Reckoning to catch some people in mid, but that's not where True Rippers are playing. They're all directly on the B. Well, again, slow
the
things
full-blown-
down. Still got 45. Yeah, they still got 45 seconds to work on the clock.
And the full-blown executor is going to come in towards B now. True Rippers, they're going to hit the B side any minute now. We're going to be seeing a quick trade of guns here from Disrupt, because he's going to be the first man
30
in.
seconds
And I
left.
think second is going to be the Killjoy, since, you know, Killjoy is the closest to Disrupt, and Disrupt is going to quickly move in. He's going to clear out some angles, going to close the market door as well. He's going to move into a second lane as well. Get that frag on towards ANQ. All down to Hush now. Hush is all alone on the side. Not going to be able to do
10 seconds
anything
left.
since he's all
One
on
enemy
a crossing.
remaining.
And yes, this is going to be the match point on True Rippers now. 12 to 10.
Crush them.
Reckoning Esports. They did exactly what I thought they would. They let True Rippers go on to a match point since they did not have enough money to go in for the full buy, which is the right thing to do.
Grounded.
And the Lenovo Legion instant replay, you can see the brilliant execute coming in from Disrupt. The entry. It's time for Reckoning Esports to step up and drag this game to an overtime if they want to finish this 2-0.
Again, a big if. Knife did not scan anyone in that situation, so still a very aggressive angle being held by ANQ. He gets one, puts up the cloudburst as well. One way, that's going to be the flash coming in, but he will updraft out of the harm's way. So Reckoning with a good start coming in, getting the first pick. Now Disrupt needs to do the exact same thing. He missed the shot.
Spike down mid.
And on the other side, Caramel was able to get Helef.
I got the spike.
Everything just falling. Disrupt did need to connect that one, but alright, Techno will be able to find some kind of redemption. Was able to take Excali down on the other side towards A. We've seen him playing so many times there. But again, ANQ this time around holding the angle. This is one of the angle which is almost very unanticipated. Disrupt actually wins the op duel. He will take ANQ down. It's down to a 3v3 situation where Adrian King will not be able to do anything. Shut down perfectly. Doe will be called off. And Caramel just losing his opportunity to try and find some kind of pick by getting in through that backstab. Even Hunter's Fury was used up by Harsh, not connecting to anyone. And is the post-plant positioning coming in. Caramel has broken the door, but now the angle should be watched out for. Techno.
Terminated.
Oh my goodness, alright. Caramel actually finding two. And those were the most important ones, making three. Caramel. What a crazy play. He just gave a lifeline to Reckoning.
No, you don't deserve my inventions.
You've got to be kidding me, Caramel. What in God's name was that? 3 taps. That's all it took for Caramel to get that retake done. A brilliant Sova dart,
Terminated.
a lot of info,
Enemy
and
remaining.
straight up aim game. That's what Caramel showed us just now. And that was just brilliant.
Here.
I mean, brilliant is an understatement. That recon dart was so on point. All Caramel had to do was take off that operator. Both the players from the side of Reckoning Esports, they did not have enough utilities to go in for that retake, but Caramel sends out a clear message that utilities, we don't need. We don't need them. What are they? All we need is the aim. And we're going to take all of these heads off on the players on True Rippers. One round away from this match going into overtime. And it's time for A&Q to pop up once again with the operator. Gets one onto Hellfighter. Falls back to safety. Lockdown does come in from True Rippers.
Get out of my way.
I think Harsh, yeah, he was just waiting. He was just waiting for any sorts of push to come in from True Rippers. And once again, stands tall for the team. The same story as the upper bracket semi-finals.
Overtime.
Caramel for the side of Reckoning Esports on the defense side on Ascent is just unstoppable.
And overtime we go. My goodness gracious. From a situation of a 12-10, True Rippers had 2 chances to close things out. And in one, they almost did. But Caramel just popping off in the last 2 rounds of the game. That is exactly what Reckoning needed. Because in the previous one, he got 4. And the only one who fell onto someone else's hand was Deathmaker by the hands of A&Q in the starting to find the opener. And then it was all just Caramel. Every other place getting those picks. And even in this one, we saw the first one by A&Q, and I love the fact that he delayed his dash for just a few seconds, threw the cloudburst, and then waited for half a second, only to dodge away any kind of trade shot coming in from Disrupt, and then he dashed away to the safety of the site. And Caramel was just right there on the opposite end to help him out, to bail him out as well. Everything working out so very well for the side of Reckoning in the previous one, and now they're on the attacking side, and we've seen them going in for some amazing hits on those attacks. These two teams, they almost seem to be so even, not just once but every other time, and they're up against each other. You know, at least one of the maps is going on overtime.
It's time now, ladies and gentlemen. All the supporters of Reckoning Esports and True Rippers, they need your love, they need your support right now. And show them exactly that in the chat as we head into the first round of overtime. Hellfighter is going to be pushed back. A pretty aggressive push coming in from Reckoning Esports. And I expected just that from them. On the overtime, they're just going to pull it down to raw aim and aggression. That is going to be the name of the game for them. And Caramel once again, standing tall, getting himself a double, not bad. But the entire situation has shifted into the favor of True Rippers now as Reckoning Esports is down to 2 men. A 2 versus 3 situation. And once again, it is going to be Disrupt with the operator ready to go in for the peak, the white peak. Both the players from Reckoning Esports have to play it a little bit safe. I think the recon dart is going to come in as well, so it's going to give all the information that Caramel needs to take down Disrupt. That's the operator down, and 1 versus 2. Hush, the brains of the team is going to be able to clutch it out. 45 seconds. He has got a spike as well. He has to move in, pick up the spike, plant the spike as well. But all of that is only going to be possible when both the players from the side of True Rippers is going to let him do that, which they obviously are not.
Honestly,
They tried their level best, right? I mean, they went in with full aggression, but that yielded no result.
Indeed. There was a situation where Helef actually went in for a team flash. Techno was blinded and he was taken down as well just because of that. So that was a situation wherein I thought maybe Reckoning would be able to close things out or at least get the plant down and get into a decent post plant. But just the rotation coming in from Deathmaker, absolutely on point. He was able to get all the important frags that he needed, and now on the back of this recon dart, maybe Caramel would want to try and go in for a peek. No, he does not peek at all. Just holding that one specific angle while all the other people from the side of True Rippers moving through the cat towards tree, and they actually managed to get a good pick. So they should be able to now close things out, and answer is absolutely no, because Disrupt says no, I'm gonna equalize the numbers in this fight. It could either make or break this round as Deathmaker goes in for a wide peak and then with the sidestep. He's able to take Caramel down. No more defensive setups, but Harsh with the Odin in towards the back. will be able to get one more, equalizing the numbers yet again. But look at the HP on Techno, it's so very low. Again, barely breathing, and also the lurk coming in from Excali. This could be everything, and he gets disrupted out of the way. Now they know that there's at least one on site. They don't know the position of the second one, so they will be going in for some random spams. But ANQ, can he find the pick? Operator and Odin, they've got a couple of strong weapons. But they still need support coming in from Excali. They are slowly moving around, and Aryu will also fall. And that's going to be just Techno standing on side, but only for so long as they get another pick. And they should be able to get the defuse on time. They've got more than enough. And we go to the second overtime.
Switching sides. Overtime.
Round number 27 now. The second overtime. Once again, Reckoning Esports on the attack. Trippers on the defense. I believe once again Reckoning Esports are gonna try and be going for that aggression. You never really know, right? Reckoning Esports, I feel they are gonna hold on to that 3-2 setup that they have, right? 3 players to outside of B, trying to hold towards mid, and the rest of the 2 are just gonna be holding top mid, waiting for the aggression to come in from Trippers. But yeah, also a little bit of information, guys. Player tech pause has come in. One of the players has called in for a tech pause.
Right here.
So we're going to be waiting for the tech issues to be resolved. But this gives us time to talk about the second overtime as well.
Need
Since
a drop.
the first overtime, we did see Reckoning Esports failing on their attack side to, you know, sort of crumble the defenses of Trippers onto the A side. But this time around, though, I feel Reckoning Esports are going to do things differently.
They should. They really need to, because again, their normal straight hits are not working. And when they were going in for those slow hits, we just knew that True Rippers had a perfect read onto them, and they were playing so very aggressive. They were trying to make those plays, and Reckoning were the ones who were reacting. So this time around, you know, the team who actually gets the round on their attack will probably have a massive advantage, because that's where the problem always lies. And if you're talking about Reckoning, they were able to get decent amount of rounds on the attack, but that exactly could be said for True Rippers as well, because 5 were the exact same rounds they were able to get on their own attack. So it's just like a dead even matchup between both of these teams. Just one of them need to pop off, and then we'll probably see a few things changing up here and there. Because look at Deathmaker, he's on 27. On the other side, ANQ 28. That's about it. What's basically, you know, making the difference in this situation. But one thing that I really want to see is Adrian King to step up. He's been going in for some decent utilities, but that's about it. He's not being able to win out any of the duels that he's being thrown to. So 8 and 21, that's not exactly the position wherein you would want to be in, especially when a match is so tied up in the second overtime. So maybe if he steps up in a round or two, this could be a situation wherein they would be able to get another round for themselves. But that is if Deathmaker on the other side does not pop up, because we are also seeing RV on the back of him. We'll just have to wait and see how it kind of pans out. But maybe the Reckoning can try and go in for a B split, that to a very pacey one. That is again a maybe.
Yeah, there is a player disconnection, by the way, in the servers. So we are waiting for the player to get back so that we can jump back into the action for overtime number 2. But yeah, I also just wanted to quickly point out that to everyone watching the stream, guys, the Convergence LAN event tickets are now live. The link is pinned on the chat. Yes, the Convergence LAN event tickets are live. You guys definitely don't want to miss out on this one. This is the biggest LAN event that you guys are going to be a part of for Valorant. And yeah, I mean, we've got big names coming as well, right? We've got Furia, we've got Vitality, we've got FUT Esports, we've got Gen G, and of course, our very own representing the Pacific region, Global Esports, are going to be there as well. And the winner of this India Close Qualifiers is going to be there as well. So if you guys don't want to miss out on the tickets, please quickly go ahead and sign up. It'll be on the chat. It's pinned on the chat. So please go ahead and book your tickets, and we'll be seeing you there. But The game is live now, so we are gonna jump back into action for overtime number 2. And scared yet? It's time for us to see if Reckoning Esports are gonna do something different or not in overtime 2 of their attacking round.
Indeed, they need to, and seems like they basically heard you, Assassin, because they're kind of stacking up towards the A main. So maybe just have some kind of control towards Cat, see if there's any kind of reactive play coming in from True Rippers, while at the same time make a play, take the aggressive control. The Outlaws just gonna get them a decent amount of information as well. Actually tagged one person, so yes, they will know about that. But in the meantime, Adrian King stepping up gets one, but Techno on the other side will be able to get to disrupt still with the op. Can he get the second one? Yes, the answer. What a crazy play coming in from him, down to 60 HP, still surviving. Still got a cloudburst to work with, but the question is, can they figure out the position of Caramel? This guy has an assault, but right now he'll be taken down with the stem. A great round coming in from True Rippers, another solid read, and Reckoning in a disadvantageous situation.
On the Lenovo Legion instant replay, you can see some wrist fracturing flicks coming out from our very own Disrupt, and what a guy. My goodness. That second flick was just out of this world. It was so
True.
beautiful to just witness that. It's like an art in itself, right? And yeah, as we did sort of expect, Reckoning Esports, they did fail on their attacking half. And it's time for them to show us what they're gonna do on the defense now for the second overtime. And they've already shown us, right? An absolute hold onto the B side. It's locked down like a fortress.
One enemy
And
remaining.
ANQ has joined the party as well, and he's gonna be... No? Oh, what? How did he miss that? I'm not able to understand, but yeah.
Switching sides.
14 to 14. It's a back and forth affair now on the overtime. It's gonna take one team to break that entire play, and we have to just wait and find out which team it's gonna be.
Yes, that is indeed true. But again, at the same time, just as we mentioned, the team that actually gets the round in the attack will have the advantage. And for now, finally, after the two crazy shutdowns in the A hit, Reckoning have decided they will go in for the B. But this knife should give a ton of information. No one scanned in the A main, so I think so. True Rippers have already got the idea and the read that this might actually be a B hit. Shot of the operator, not yet connecting, but I've got an idea when the operator is posted now, and Techno finds a good timing onto Excali, was able to take him down. The paranoia is going to go through as well. Not catching anyone, I apologize for that. But in the meantime, Caramel, as well as Hers, will be able to try and equalize the odds in their own favor. Aryu will be equalizing those numbers after he gets the pick with the Odin. But on the back of that, 3K, Caramel's got the lockdown in place. So he's going to push everyone back as the spike will be planted. Disrupt
Spike
has an
planted.
operator. Assassin, I don't think that's the best weapon to have, especially when you're going in for a retake. But Caramel's reposition, is it anticipated? That is going to be the question.
I mean, the biggest weapon for Reckoning Esports right now is Caramel, and oh my god, nobody has any idea. And then we're gonna be seeing the alarm bot. It's gonna be that distraction that Caramel needs, and Reckoning Esports finally break the chain of losing on the attack side of overtime. Reckoning Esports put up the 15 on the board for themselves. And yeah, it's finally time to see if Reckoning are going to be able to close things out on the defense and possibly end this best of 3 in a 2-0 fashion or not.
That is true. This could very well be the straw that's breaking the camel's back at this point. Uphill battle for True Rippers. They're down one round and they're on the attacking side. If in case they're taking it, I'll be like, nah, that's absolutely crazy. But a bunch of utilities being thrown on the face of Caramel, who will still survive as on the back of the support by his team. That's going to be the pop flash coming in. Helef would be able to take him down. A good trade whatsoever. And he'll double it up as well as ANQ was shut down. Helef actually triples it up with a shotty in hand. Wins out that KO duel, and that's about it. What Harsh can do, nothing in face of 3 people who will be coming in. Another white B coming in from Disrupt. What a change of pace and what a fast round for True Rippers.
Switching sides. Overtime.
It looks like the Reckoning Esports are not the only ones to, sort of completely shift the cycle. Troopers can do the same. And this time around, though, they completely changed the outcome of that round. What everyone expected to be a Reckoning Esports round, Troopers went in ham and conquered the B side for themselves. It was a really good one coming out from True Rippers, but once again, is the cycle going to continue? Is somebody going to do something different? Only time will tell. For now, though, Disrupt, he'll have to reposition himself. We're going to be seeing him go back because of that recon dot. Towards the B side is just RU. Oh, never mind. We've got Deathmaker as well joining him. Close to market, so there's that. A very slow round coming in from Reckoning. Yeah, like a very slow round coming in from Reckoning, don't you think? Right.
Yeah, indeed. Very slow indeed. Even the owl drone just being used defensively. No major information being given. And True Rippers are now slowly scaling up. They're basically getting impatient. And look at that double push coming in from mid as well as towards the cat. The smoke's going to go down towards the B main as well. There's a 3-2 split coming in from Reckoning. 3 of them towards B main. They've got the entire control. So Extremity is being worked ahead. The smoke should give the position of Excali. Deathmaker actually gets him down as well. He was watching that angle. He was covering for Disrupt.
30 seconds left.
But in the meantime, RU is going to be checked. Yes, he will be. Goes for a spray down. It's not pretty. And that's going to be Adrian King doubling it up. Deathmaker as well shut down perfectly. And the B-side control has been given. Reckoning will be stealing it away. Just losing one member. 3 of them tagged up. Yes. But just a small ding. That's about it. ANQ will be welcoming Hela with the operator shot. And a couple of members coming in from B main. Null command used up. Harsh watching that one angle. Jumpy's gonna give him his information. He walks up front right away. That's just Disrupt with the op. Not the best weaponry you need. 1v3 situation. Flash comes in. He's just down to 20 HP. This round is basically done for.
Well, in a 1v3 situation with the operator, Disrupt can try, but it's gonna be of no use. Since the players of Reckoning are everywhere. They've got all the positions held down.
Match point.
Take down Disrupt and put up the 16th on the board. And a very slow-paced execute did give Reckoning Esports the round they were looking for. And of course, not to mention Adrian King, he stood up big time in that round.
That is true. He needed to. He really needed to, because that's what his team needs from him. If you look at it, he's the one who's got 2 flashes. So whenever the team is going in for an execute, if you want to go in for a pop flash, if you want to push a smoke, you need your KO to be alive. And that is where Reckoning were having some kind of problem. Wait, the owl drone didn't check the position. We're actually going for that shock dart play. ANQ in the meantime actually wins out the jet duel. Caramel has basically found a perfect timing at this point. And he can try and go in for a backstab. Excali gets 2 with the judge as well. Will be shut down finally by Header, but the damage has been done. Caramel is just walking forward. His footsteps were being heard. But Aryu could not capitalize on that as Caramel will put the final nail in the coffin. Shuts it down with a 2K in the last round. And what a great game coming in from both of these teams.
Absolutely. I mean, Reckoning Esports, well, they're going to be your winners and your first grand finalists for the Lenovo and Intel presents Convergence 2023 India Close Qualifiers by Riot Games and the Esports Club. Congratulations, Reckoning Esports, on getting into the grand finals now, but True Rippers, man, unfortunate. The previous 2 rounds, right, the way Reckoning Esports played it out, and small little bit of, I wouldn't call it a mistake, but little bit of a bad step coming out from True Rippers, which costed them the round. We will be getting into analyzing all of that as well. I mean, it's pretty obvious that you guys might have seen it, but we will get into the bottom of it. The thing is that Reckoning Esports, they shifted their entire momentum multiple times on the overtime.
That is true.
Right, like the second overtime was a complete game changer for both the sides. Like even True Rippers, we did not expect them to explode onto the B side like that and gain control, which they did. And then talking about the third overtime, well, everybody knows what happened. Reckoning Esports, they stood really, really tall when it came to their defense. I mean, attack, yes,
Indeed.
it was interesting, but it was fine. They had a slow paced execute, and it was planned really well. But the defense is where, you know. The defense is where it actually takes the cake. Like Reckoning Esports, they really, really played well that defense. We are going to be getting into the stats and the numbers as well, but Scariat, I want to know from you, like the overtimes, we expected, True Rippers to take us to the third map. I thought that Reckoning Esports might not be able to, sort of close it out, because sometimes it all comes down to the player's mental, right? Whichever team loses mental first, whichever team loses mental first, or maybe momentum first, sort of falls back when it comes to the overtime, and they possibly fail to close things out as well. But Reckoning Esports, well, man, they surprised us all.
Well, I mentioned that the team who gets the attacking rounds will be getting the map, but at that very point, both of them just decided, all right, you want attacking rounds? We're both going to give you attacking rounds. And no one was actually able to capitalize on their defensive house. Now, the reason for that is just because of that pace change, a quick pace change coming in from not just True Rippers, but also from Reckoning, which eventually led us into a situation wherein the other team as well did the exact same thing. And their opponents were just not ready for that one. But seriously, the last 2 consecutive rounds that Reckoning actually won out, that was absolutely brilliant. Kudos to them, and also to True Rippers. Their run is not over. They're just still dropped down to the lower bracket. We will still see them fighting against Grayfox and Assassin. You are the eyewitness. You know that there's a very solid beef between these teams.
Yes, I mean, True Rippers going up against the side of Grayfox Esports is going to be something that we are all really excited to see, because there's a lot of beef going on between both of these teams, especially particular players. We've got Techno from True Rippers and Wenka from Grayfox. There are a lot of interesting, spicy rivalries going between both of these teams. So really excited to see how that match is going to go. As you said, right, the run for True Rippers is still not over yet. They still have another chance. They are going to go up against Grayfox Esports at 7 p.m. today. And we are going to get to know who exactly is going to face Reckoning Esports tomorrow for the grand finals and earn the 6th spot for the Lenovo and Intel Presents Convergence 2023 by Riot Games and the Esports Club. The scoreboard is ready, so let's quickly jump straight into the scoreboard and talk numbers, Scared Yet, because I'm pretty sure that Deathmaker, he did not stop at just a couple of kills, right? The man dropped 31 kills with an ACS of 261.
Just outwardly performance from him at this point, because you talk about Deathmaker, he plays Sentinel. Yes, he'll be solid on the defense, but he still got 4 first kills. Yes, you also saw Disrupt playing in very solid game, 29, 22 and 2. But on the other side, you focus things down on ANQ every single time. He has been a very solid pillar. And with Hoya, both of them used to do so much work. But again, it was on the back of all of the utilities being provided by Harsh, by Caramel, as well as by Excali. Now, since Adrian King is filling the shoes of Hoya in terms of the fragging department, you are seeing Caramel step up. You're also seeing Excali step up. That ace coming in from him right in the first round on his defense, that was just brilliant. And ANQ was popping off with the operator. 9 first bloods. That's what you need from your duelist. ACS of 271. There's just no doubt that he is going to be the MVP of that match. But I really enjoyed this game thoroughly. But eventually, if we talk things down and see where the mistakes were, True Rippers and as well as Reckoning, there were just a few of those moments wherein they made some kind of basic mistakes, as in just walking through the smoke. But since we're already walking forward, might as well look at the match MVP. It's going to be none other than ANQ. And if I'm not wrong, Assassin, it's 2 games in a row, 2 matches in a row.
Every single time Reckoning Esports is playing a match in Valorant, I believe on the match MVP screen, I think 9 out of 10 times I see ANQ. So yes, it doesn't come as a surprise to me. ANQ played brilliantly. this entire best of 3, especially in the second map. An ACS of 271, a KD ratio of 1.3, 9 first bloods. The man was just doing what he does best, and that is frag, frag, frag.
This frag is basically what he does best, and give him the operator, give him the vandal, he's just going to do ANQ things. Absolutely brilliant performance from him, and on the back of it, Reckoning now are the grand finalists in India qualifiers, just one step away from playing against those international teams and also against global esports vitality. You do not want to miss out on this opportunity, and again, that's exactly what True Rippers and Grayfox would be thinking, because this is a chance for them to get that experience, be on the same stage where all of those teams play, learn from them and realize where they are good at, where their opponents are good at. This is the best learning experience that they can get, and none of these teams would want to give up on that. So again, the pressure would be extremely high on both True Rippers as well as Grayfox, because that's going to be an elimination game for them. They win, they stay in the loop. They lose, they're just directly out of it. And looking at how things have went down previously, even when they both met up against each other in the upper bracket, we saw True Rippers winning that best of 3 outright, and that too in a 2-0 fashion. Ascent and Split were the map wherein they just closed things out without any major difficulties. Grayfox posed a little bit of a threat on Ascent, but on the Split, it was an entirely different story. So again, if you're talking about how Grayfox is actually going to deal with it, I think so it's going to be difficult, but at the same time, they've seen how True Rippers are playing, right? And again, seeing 2 straight losses, True Rippers would be in a pretty precarious position. So I think so, yes, it's daunting for Grayfox to play against True Rippers, who they've been consistently losing against, but this is the best chance for them to try and counter-strat and win things out.
Yeah, I mean, Grayfox for sure were watching this match, and they will have their strat book ready to go up against True Rippers for the decider finals that are going to be happening at 7 p.m. tonight. So yes, if you guys haven't clicked on the bell notification icon, you guys have to do it immediately, because the match between Grayfox Esports and True Rippers is going to be, again, a fantastic one. Because, see, 9 out of 10 times what happens is the teams that are going up against each other in the upper bracket finals are the same ones that end up showing, us the same kind of things on the grand finals.
Yeah.
Like, they end up showing on the grand finals as well. So, can Grayfox Esports change that? Only time will tell. For that, you guys have to tune into the stream at 7 p.m. But until then, that was pretty much it for the upper bracket finals of the Lenovo and Intel presents Convergence 2023 India Close Qualifiers by Riot Games and the Esports Club. I was Akash Assassin 47, along with me was Scared Yet. We will be back at 7 p.m. for the decider finals, but until then, you guys were watching Lenovo and Intel presents Convergence 2023 India Close Qualifiers by Riot Games and the Esports Club. Don't forget to sign up for your tickets for the LAN event, guys, because you don't want to miss out on this one. This is going to be the biggest, the greatest LAN event for Valorant in the country. In Riot Games' first ever international event in India. So you guys definitely don't want to miss out on this one. You guys can get the tickets using the link pinned on the chat. So yes, please do sign up for your tickets. And yeah, we'll be seeing you guys at 7 p.m. Until then, thank you for watching, and see you guys for the decider finals.
Chosen. Watch everything we work for fall in line. We gon' give it our all until the end of time.